Well, it's a good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on Oxford TV. We're live from the Bet Goodwin Oxford Stadium this evening on what is again another glorious day. I keep saying that. It's another beautiful day here. It's perfect for racing this evening. We've got two teams here in good league positions at the moment, with the Cheetahs currently sat in fourth, the SD Timo Carcel Cheetahs, and we've got the Red Camper Berwick Bandits there sat just above them in third place. So these two teams come into this meeting in good league positions, but it's not a happy hunting ground for Berwick. They've only won once in 13 visits to this track in recent times, and at the moment for the Cheetahs, they've lost their last two by only very narrow margins, but it just shows that they can be beaten on this track. So Berwick feel they're coming here at a very, very good time, so it sets us up really nicely for what should be a really, really close meeting. So we'll take a wander across the track, we'll head into the pits and have a look. Hopefully I can catch up with either the team managers or a couple of the riders. As we walk across the track now, obviously what they're trying to do as general is get as much water into this surface as they possibly can, because it's so hot. As soon as the water's going in, it's drying up. So they've been lapping pretty consistently since we got here, but the track does look really nice, looks really smooth. They put lots and lots of material. As we look up there into the exit of turn 2, you can see the material on the outside, and it's exactly the same as you go down into 3 and 4. So they're setting us up with a really, really nice looking track for this afternoon. Let's get ourselves in the pits. And what we'll do is we'll have a wander. I haven't seen Stewart DIXON and Peter Schroeck just yet, but we'll see if we can find them. If not, we'll have a word with a couple of the riders. So like I say, these two are very, very close in the league, so it's going to be an entertaining meeting, but it's not going to be a meeting that either of these two are going to want to lose because of those league positions. Whoever wins this today is going to cement that third spot in the league. That's how we'll do. We'll have a walk down to the Berwick end of the pitch to start off with. It's very busy in here. A lot of the supporters can come in at the moment. So it's pretty hectic down here in pit lane. But let's walk along. I tell you what we'll try and do is get a chat with Drew Kemp if we can, because Drew is in good form at the moment, and he's just been given the captaincy in Daniel Humes' absence. Unfortunately, Daniel Humes injured, and he's out of action at the moment. Excuse me, gents. I don't really want to talk to you, my good man. I'd rather talk to Drew. Drew, can I grab you for 2 minutes? How are you, buddy? You well?
Yeah, all good, you?
Captain tonight, mate. Not in the circumstances you would have wanted, but you'll take that for sure and try and do Daniel proud with it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we want to do tonight. Obviously, impress Daniel. It was a nasty crash that he had. Obviously, nasty injuries that he's got as well. But, the good news is that he's recovering, which, is a shame what happened, but, at least he's going well. So, yeah, first meet as a captain for me. I've never ever done that before. So
is that first, is it?
It is, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It brings a new level of excitement to the meeting, I think. I get to do different things and picking tyres, which I've never done before. So, yeah, if I can win the coin toss on my first go, I'll be happy with that one as well.
That'll be a winner. And talk to me about your form, because you said it the other day, you found some consistency, both in the top league and in this league. And it's great to see, and it's something that you've been threatening for a long time, and you've suddenly found that now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you what's clicked or why it's different, but...
That was my next question.
Yeah, I wish I knew as well. It would have made, the last 5 years a lot easier, but... yeah, it's going well. We're still nowhere near where I want to be, but it is positively getting better every single meeting, and like you said, keeping consistent. So that's, like you said, something I've been wanting to do for a few years, and it seems that I am sort of doing it. So, like I said, nowhere near where we need to be or want to be, but it's a step in the right direction, and if we can keep doing that every meeting like we're doing, then I'll be happy. Yeah,
good man. It's really, really good to see. And just talking on tonight's meeting, this hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Berwick, but they've lost 2 on the spin here, Oxford, so it's a chance to come here and try and get something.
Yeah, of course it is. I think Oxford always want to beat Berwick, and Berwick always want to beat Oxford for obvious reasons.
The Courtney derby.
Exactly. So we won't ask him who he's supporting, but no, it's been good. Some good sort of results for Berwick this year. We are going well. The only team to beat Berwick, only team to beat Poole, yeah, which obviously was at home and at Berwick, but a win is a win. So I think we just all need to chip in with the points tonight. Everyone needs to do their job. RR with Daniel, which is a little bit tricky, obviously, with the position he is in. One above and obviously anyone below. So, but I'm confident in the team that we've got that we can pull it off. So, if we can keep close and keep close enough, so when we go back to Berwick for the home leg, we can sneak an aggregate point. Then, I think that's job done tonight.
Sounds like a plan, Drew. Thank you, buddy. Have a good meeting.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy. Top man. Excellent. Great take from Drew. Really good to hear from him. And like he said, first time I kind of thought he would have been captain when he was at the National League level, but it hasn't happened for him yet. So it's a new thing for him, captaining the side. Let's have a wander up. We'll see what cheetah we can't get. Let's pick our way through the crowd. Let's see who we can't find. I tell you, I'm going to try and grab is Jonas KNUDSEN, back in the side today. He's been a bit hit or miss with his Danish appearances. Jonas, can I grab you for 2 minutes? How are you?
Good.
Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm good, buddy. It's good to see you back in Oxford colours. Been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while. My season has taken a turn, so...
A positive one, man. Really good.
For sure, yeah. It's good for some, maybe not so good for something else, but yeah, it's going the right direction for me, and I'm enjoying it.
That's racing though, isn't it? Because I think the last time me and you spoke here, I don't think you were riding anywhere but here. And then all of a sudden, Team Spots popped up, and you just seem to have clicked, found another gear, and you're riding really well everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened really. I think, when everything goes good, you have a lot of confidence, and when you got good confidence, you're riding good pretty much everywhere. It doesn't matter how it really is. You're good to get everything turned around again, I think so.
Yeah, it's terrific. And just talked about the Danish final, because I was out for a family meal, but I actually had the phone under the table and I was watching the Danish final. And in all of those reruns of that final, you made the start in every single one of them. You did really well that day.
Yeah, that was one day everything just clicked for me. Everything was perfect. I came to the final like, if I could score a point in every heat, I would be happy. And then to go out and make 14 out of 15 was superb, yeah. So
yeah, it's really good. And just talking on tonight, obviously good to get back in Oxford colours. They're sat in third, you're sat in fourth. It's a meeting that we want to take the points tonight for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We need to get some points on the board, and I think it's possible today. So we want to go out and give them a really good go. Give
them a win and get some points. Top man, great to see you again, Jonas. Excellent. So there we go. Really good take from Drew. Really good take from Jonas. Two riders there that seem to have found a gear. They've both found something in their setups, and they're both really consistent at the moment. And we're all set for a fantastic meeting here. Heat one's not far off. Yeah, really warm afternoon here. It's the sun is still blaring down. We've got two great teams, as we said there on the opener. We've got Oxford, we've got Berwick. Oxford not in incredible form, obviously having lost a couple of those home meetings, but they are sat in a great position in that league table, which we'll take a look at in a moment. And we're all set for what should be a fantastic Cab Direct Championship meeting. You can see on our screen there that the sun is really coming down over the top of us. And again, it's made track prep a little bit different for the guys this afternoon. But there we go. Let's have a look at the Cab Direct Championship League table. As we can see, Paul there heading the top there, 14 points. They're sat pretty at the top of the league, followed by Glasgow. And then the two teams in question, Berwick in third and Oxford in fourth. Just a point between them. We are the only meeting this evening, so one of those two sides, if they can take that victory today, they will kind of cement that third place spot there. And just push themselves up a little bit further away from everybody else. So there is everything to race for. And like I said on the opener, this isn't a great hunting ground for the away side. So they will look at it that Oxford have just had a couple of chinks in their armour of late here, and they'll feel that they can come here and have a good go at Oxford. So you can just see the boys getting that's Jordan Jenkins there with his back to us. Obviously Jordan not riding this evening. We've got a replacement in for him, which we'll talk about in a moment when we look at the two sides. But plenty of work going on there on Mitch McDIARMID's bike as the Oxford boys get themselves ready. So let's take a look at the Berwick Bandits. They're the visiting team today, and their number one is somebody we know very well. Obviously he's an Oxford Spire this season in the top division, Craig Cook. He is their number one. There was a chance that Craig wasn't going to be here this evening, but he's got over the illness and the bits that he had hampering him, and he does spearhead this team tonight. A man at number two who, to be fair to Sam Hagen, he's found a little bit of form of late, both in the top division with Birmingham and in this league with Berwick. He scored 6+1 and 7 in his last two meetings, so he's starting to really find his feet now, Sam, and he could prove pivotal. And he's obviously going to get one of those rider replacement rides, because there is no rider at number 3. Daniel Hughes, as Drew said there in the opening, He's injured, and we send Daniel all our very best, but it will be a rider replacement for him. Drew is the other man there that can take a rider replacement ride. Captain in the side tonight, Drew. He's found some really good form, and he's going to be really looking forward to this evening's meeting. And yeah, I'm sure he can do very well here for his Berwick side. Number 5, again, a man that we know very well here. He's a Spire as well this season, Peter Kildemand, and again, he's found some really good form in the top division. He was the rider of the night here, the TNT meeting for the Spires against Ipswich. And he's going to be looking to put that kind of form into his Bandits team here against the Cheetahs tonight. The 2 reserves for the visiting Bandits are Dayle WOOD at number 6. And Dale's a rider, he's riding for the Edinburgh Academy side in the National League. And he's picked up the reserve spot here for Berwick. And he scored in all but one of his meetings for Berwick this season. So he is scoring points, and he is doing his job down there at reserve. And he's joined in that reserve berth by a man who, we feel like Jack's been around forever, Jack Smith. But he's another rider that just of late has found a little bit of form, and his 2 best scores for Berwick have been away from home. He scored 8+2 and 7+1 in away meetings, so he's got form on the road, and they're going to need that tonight. What with the rider replacement rides for Daniel Hume, Dayle WOOD and Jack Smith, along with Drew, Kemp and Sam Hagen, they're the ones that can take those rides. And Stewart DIXON, man at the helm, great guy Stewart. Had a quick hello with him in the pits earlier on. He'll be looking to leave here with all the points this evening, getting one over on Peter Schroeck. And there is Stewart, a man who knows the sport inside and out. There's every trick in the book. Excellent tactician. He won't be afraid to make big decisions if it's needed this evening, depending on how that score is going. So let's have a look at our Oxford Cheetahs. ST Timo Carcel, Oxford Cheetahs this evening. Sam Masters at number 1. Amazing season so far for Sam at this level of the sport. He's had 11 double-figure scores from 11 meetings, and he's leading the side from the front. Outstanding number 1. A man that we had a quick chat with in the opening. He's found some form across Europe. He'll be hoping to bring that form to the UK. Jonas KNUDSEN at number 2 there. Number 3, guest this evening for Jordan Jenkins will be Zach Cook. He's had 5 across the 2 Championship and Premiership. He's had 5 guest bookings so far, Zach. So he's a man in demand, and he's a man that can come here and do a very solid job at that number 3 berth for Jordan. And we hope to see Jordan back very, very soon. Mitch McDIARMID has been on SGP2 form recently. He had scored 10 points in the meeting there. Did himself really, really well. In the main body of the side, now having started at reserve, he's going to be in that number 4 race jacket. Number 5, Cam Heeps. The little delay that we've had here for the Cheetahs has probably worked really well for Cam, because he had that big accident here against Scunthorpe, and he has had a meeting back since, but this just little prolonged break that we've had has probably done him the world of good as he filters back into that number 5 heat leader spot. Our 2 reserves this season, Francis Gusts, he finds himself back down at reserve now. But again, he scored pretty good in the last couple of meetings from that reserve berth with a pay 10 and 11. So he literally can get those points down there that Oxford need to get them over the line. And he's going to be joined by Luke Killeen, aspiring a Cheetah this season. Luke, he's found going a little bit easier at this level than he has at the top level, which is totally understandable for a young man starting his career. But he can score well. We've seen him do it down here. He's had a 9+2, 4+1. He's had a couple of 8s. So he's done really well for the Cheetahs. And he'll be looking to take advantage of his knowledge of the track this evening up against the reserves for the Bandits. And Peter Schroeck, team manager for all 3 sides here. He's got his work cut out managing those 3 sides, but he does a sterling job. There's the BMW Mini Company warehouse across the way. That's where they manufacture the Minis. There's the Mini on the top of the building. So the bikes are out for parade. The riders will be thinking about that shortly. We're just coming up to 7:30. So the riders will come over. They'll have a quick introduction to the crowd. They'll put in a couple of practice starts, a couple of spins of the track, and then we'll be crashing on with heat number 1. So, as we've said, it's warm, it's hot. We've tried to get as much water into this track as we possibly can. I did have a chat with Peter Schroeck earlier on. He said, look, Jamie's worked wonders with Wayne this afternoon, trying to get this track in as good a state as they possibly can for this evening. And there is Jamie there on screen. And hopefully the lines that the guys have done. We've talked to their riders, Mitch McDIARMID, Luke Killeen there chatting with Jamie. Always in comms as the meeting goes on about the track, filtering back, feeding back what they see, what they feel when they're riding. And then when we get those intervals and we get those grading breaks, that's when Jamie jumps in the tractor. But talking to Jamie earlier on, the one thing he did say was that it's more about getting moisture and water into the surface when the weather's like this. and just letting that natural deep berm build up around the edge of the track, so that there is that line for the riders to use, going deep, use that outside run. So there is huge method in getting the track right. And there we can see 3 boys that can have a busy evening tonight. Sam Hagen, Jack Smith, Dayle WOOD. Again, like we were saying, they're going to pick up rider replacement rides, and there's Francis Gusts, Zach Cook guesting tonight, and Jonas KNUDSEN back in Oxford colours. And like Jonas was saying there, he was a little bit shy really when he was saying about his form. He is in good form, and it has opened doors for him on the continent, which has hampered his appearances and taken a few appearances away from Oxford, which is a shame, but that's the nature of the sport, and it's just good to see him back in the saddle tonight for Oxford, and they'll be hoping that he can bring that form with him that he's found over in Denmark and on the continent and put it to good use here for the Cheetahs. So we are a few minutes away from parade. There's Craig Cook, man we know very well. At one point in the build-up, the last couple of days, Craig wasn't in the starting lineup. It was Justin Sedgman was going to be a replacement for him today, but thankfully for Craig, he's gotten over what ills he had, and he's ready to take his place in the side. And again, it's a track that he's actually only had 4 home meetings for the Spires since he signed. It feels like he's been there a little while, but it is only 4 meetings he's had, a couple here and a couple away. But he'll be hoping that little bit of knowledge that he's got of this track he can put to good use for the Bandits tonight. Against Oxford, the nature of our sport, we know that you can have a rider in your colours one week and in the away colours the next week, depending on what league we're racing. But hey, that's Speedway. We all love it for what it is. Here come the riders on parade for this Cap Direct Championship meeting, which again, like we said, 3rd and 4th place. They're both sat pretty in the table. A win for either of them this evening would be a very, very good win against their respective opposition tonight, because it'll just create a bit of a gap and put a bit of pressure on that other team. So thank you very much for joining us today, whether you're an Oxford fan who just, there's plenty of Speedway here at the Bet Goodwin Oxford Stadium, so you get to pick and choose which ones you come to. If you don't come to the live and you do watch it at home, it's great that you're joining us. If you're a Berwick fan that hasn't made the trip down here, a long trip down here today for this meeting, welcome. It's good to have you on board. And if you're just a Speedway fan in general, like I said, we are the only meeting this evening, so if you just needed a fix bit of Speedway, thank you very much for choosing us. Let's hope these boys give us a fantastic meeting, give me something to shout and cheer about. We do like to see a nice close meeting. I don't mind a last heat decider, but we are Oxford TV, so that is the way that we do swing. But we just want to see good racing from everybody on show, and a fair and honest meeting. So the riders just have a look at the starts there. We have the coin toss in a moment or two. Sam Masters and Drew Kemp, they'll conduct that coin toss. Whoever wins will get choice of gate positions, whether they take the gate positions in Heat 1 or they defer it to Heat 15, so they get the choice at the back end. We shall see. Francis Gusts just having a bit of a warm-up. So obviously Francis there in his Spires outfit, because he started the season with the Spires, as many of you will obviously know. Didn't quite go according to plan, so he stepped back away from that. Oxford stepped him down from that position, but then due to the changes in the injuries that they picked up in the side, he came in for Dan Gilks. I've seen Dan this evening, he looks good. He's walking around again. It won't be long before we see him back in action, which is great news. For this moment in time, Francis there is doing his bit down at reserve. So Drew Kemp just getting a quick Q&A, and then it'll be the turn of Sam, and we'll do the coin toss. I can then work on my programme, and we'll know exactly where we are as we head into this much needed meeting. It's been a little while. Obviously the Workington situation caused a delay to that one. It's great news that's broken this afternoon that Workington are back in business. Their administrative issues have been all sorted out, so they will be back on track this coming weekend, which is fantastic to hear. Well done to everybody concerned in getting that situation sorted and getting the Workington team back on track, and we'll see them here at Oxford later in the season. So I'll just button it for the minute, and I will just lean out and see if I can't grab the coin toss, see who wins, and then I'll be back with you. So here we go, then we'll just get the coin toss now. Drew, as the away captain, will call. Sam gets the call. So Sam's gone 1 and 3. Oh, Drew Kemp has left Sam Masters hanging there with a handshake, and he comes back in. So it was Drew that called, it was Sam that won. Drew called ahead, it went down as a tail, and then Sam has decided to take gates 1 and 3 in heat number 1. Which means when we get to heat 15, it'll be the choice of the away side, and if the scores are close, that can sometimes swing in your favour. So we'll just have a quick introduction of the riders to the crowd now. Run through the 1 to 7 for both sides. Sorting the programme as I go. There's Peter Kildemand. Been on really good form for the Spires of late. And Berwick, he's really starting to find his feet back in the UK. And he's a really exciting rider to watch. Rider at number 3, so Sam Hagen. Like we're saying, man, he's found some good form of late. Sam, both divisions, which is great. And then Cookie in there at number 1. And again, good reception for Craig. Good to see him ride well. Not score too well tonight from a Cheetahs perspective, but it would be good to see Craig doing well and scoring some points for Berwick. Senna Summers there, always on the spanners for Luke Killeen. Luke started to score some points at this level. Very popular figure, Luke. Senna's punching the air for him there. Francis Gusts at number 6. Super Cam, good to see him back. So yeah, Mitch McDIARMID, he was in SGP action over in Manila. He scored 10 points and did himself really good over there. Rode really well, very positive. Cook, like we were saying, five guest bookings across the 2 divisions. Zach, his average fits in both leagues at the moment. He can fit in the middle order of most sides. Jonas gets a really good reception. Obviously a former Berwick rider, of course. So we'll have friends up that end of the country as well. And obviously Super Sam Masters at number 1. What we're saying, big points from Sam, 11 meetings, 11 double figure scores. He's riding really well at the minute. A couple of maximums in there as well. So a couple of practice starts, get a bit of a feel for the track. Bit of back wheel action from a couple of them. Let's just give the riders the opportunity to get a feel for their bikes. They'll have obviously set up one way. They only get to put in a couple of practice starts and a couple of half laps really. Before the referee will call them in. Red lights will come on, they'll go in. And it is Chris DURNO. Slight change to the programme. Chris is the only real change to the programme with Danyan R&R. Chris DURNO comes in to referee this evening. Saw Chris earlier on, taking a track walk with Michael Hunt, clerk of the course here. So, pre-match formalities over with. Riders will head in. Riders for heat 1 and 2. Riders in heat 1. Start getting themselves ready. And it's a big one with Sam Masters and Craig coming. Craig Cook coming out in that heat number 1. See Dan Gilks there with the Staver hat on. And the Spanners helping somebody this evening. And Neil Everett's there on the Spanners for Sam Masters, former British champion, of course. Will forever, for me, be called champ. I remember that year he won the British title really vividly. And there's Jordan looking, he's moving around great, which is awesome to see. Just seems to have been a magnet for incidents, unfortunately, this season. Jordan, you can see the strap in there on his knee. That's what's keeping him out of the saddle at the minute. There we go, bit of a brace on the knee. So yeah, just seems to have picked up quite a few incidents this season. Sometimes you've just got to take stock and press that pause button. This is obviously an enforced pause button for him. But just a bit of the time out the saddle to address what's going on, refocus, and hopefully we'll see him back before the end of the season. So the 2 minutes are on. So the riders in Heat 1, Sam Masters, Jonas KNUDSEN, Craig Cook, Sam Hagen. They've got to get themselves round to tapes within those 2 minutes. Got to be at tapes ready to go. If you're not at tapes in your box and that 2 minutes ticks, you give your manager something to do. Sam Masters the first one to get himself ready. So these two sides, they tend, obviously they don't meet in the BSN series. They didn't last year and they didn't this year because it's a southern and northern kind of group. So they didn't meet in that competition. So they only actually met head to head in the league last year. And it was a 45-all draw up at Berwick. 45 points apiece. Scott Nichols and Sam Masters were the top scorers that day for the Cheetahs. And it was actually Drew Kemp and Daniel Hume that top scored for Berwick that day. And then when they came back here for the second leg, Oxford won 53-37. And like we were saying, they've only had one victory here in recent times, 13 appearances, Berwick. They'll be looking to change that statistic today. Try and get one over on the Cheetahs. So we are getting very close to heat number 1 of this Cab Direct Championship meeting. Jonas KNUDSEN, blue helmet colour, he's going to be off the inside for Oxford. Off of gate 2 in yellow will be Sam Hagen. The Berwick Bandits, off gate 3, captain of Oxford will be Sam Masters, red helmet colour. And Craig Cook, he will be in the white helmet colour off of gate number 4. Bet Goodwin, they're our sponsors of heat number 1. Who's going to get off to a flyer? Will it be Jonas KNUDSEN and Sam Masters for the home side? Or can Sam Hagen and Craig Cook do the business for the Bandits? Tapes up and off we go on heat number 1. It's a good start from the Oxford pair, but keep an eye on Craig Cook. He's a little bit deeper and he's going to go round the outside of Jonas KNUDSEN into second place. Sam Masters made the gate beautiful, first and second turn from Sam. You'd anticipate he would pull away from here. Craig Cook, whoa, Craig just locked up there, and that'll give Jonas KNUDSEN the opportunity to come back underneath him. Craig was looking pretty comfortable there in second place, but just got it wrong entering lap 2 and just locked up. Jonas KNUDSEN did very well to just come off the gas a little bit and avoid Craig Cook, but what it did do is it knocked Craig back into third, give Jonas the opportunity to come back up the inside into second place. Sam Hagen at the moment is a spectator back in 4th. So, with a lap to go, what was looking like a 4-2 to the home side has turned into a 5-1. The boys are pretty spread out now. Sam Masters going to take the win comfortably. Tapes to checkered flag for him. Jonas KNUDSEN in second. Craig Cook was in that second position, just got it slightly wrong. Dropped him back to third. So it's the perfect start for the home side. But could have been slightly different. But for that small mistake by Craig Cook entering lap 2. So the Oxford boys come round to take the applause. They both did make the gate, and then Craig Cook got himself round the outside of Jonas KNUDSEN. So the choice of 1 and 3 was a good choice by Sam Masters, who took the win from his teammate Jonas KNUDSEN, with Craig Cook in third, Sam Hagen in 4th. 5-1 opening heat. Massive advantage in that opener. Sets heat 2 up nicely for your reserves and gets your meeting off to a flyer. Here we can see it from the tapes. So just keep an eye on the Oxford boys. They both made the gate off of 1 and 3. Sam was with them until they entered the turn, but Craig Cook's in the perfect position here to get the run around the outside of Jonas KNUDSEN into second, and was looking good at this point. And he just maybe felt like that would be the heat settled down. Just keep an eye on Craig here as he comes in. He just overlocks a tiny bit there, and Jonas did well to avoid him. But it took Craig off the gas, off the racing line, and allowed Jonas back up the inside of him to take that 5-1 for the home side. A perfect start to proceedings. There's Andy Smith, famous face, obviously. Man, a lot of us older supporters will remember. He's a Grand Prix regular for many years, Andy. Multiple British champion. Bellevue, Swindon. And for many sides, Andy. Cracking rider. Obviously here with his son Jack. There's Francis Gusts. Find himself off gate number 2 in this one. Got about 1 minute and 20 till tapes up, so the boys have got plenty of time. We're just waiting for the Berwick riders to come round. What that 5-1 has done is it's just added that pressure to these boys in heat number 2. It's always tough on the reserves anyway. So we're going to see first rider for everybody. Obviously Dayle WOOD off the inside in white for Berwick. Next to him in red will be Francis Gusts for Oxford. Gate 3, Jack Smith in yellow for Berwick. And Luke Killeen is going to be in blue off of gate number 4. Keith Cook Construction, there are sponsors of heat number 2. And it's a heat number 2 where Oxford can really hammer home an advantage if they can get a 5-1 in this one. But in Jack Smith, they've got a rider who, like I said on the opening, he's had a couple of good away scores for Berwick. And Dayle WOOD, who does pick up points. He's vastly improved, Dayle, and he's scoring massive points for the Edinburgh Academy. He has been here this season, but unfortunately his meeting only lasted 1 ride because he came a cropper. So he hasn't had loads of time on this track. So let's see what heat number 2 brings us. Francis Gusts, Luke Killeen, Dayle WOOD, Jack Smith. Tapes go up on heat number 2, and France, oh, big collision going in there. We're going to see all 4 back on that one, I would imagine. Thankfully Luke Killeen looks like he's okay. Just had a coming together going up into that first turn. Francis Gusts made the gate off of 2. He made a worldie. Here we go. Keep watching from the start again. Just keep an eye on the outside too. Jack Smith and Luke Killeen. That's the collision we're looking for. Well, yeah, nothing in that really. That'll be all 4 back. It's hard to see whether Jack just came across a little bit into Luke's line. But I'd anticipate that'll be all 4 back. Hopefully Luke's okay. Hopefully the machine's all right. Chris DURNO, our referee, will just give him a couple of extra minutes. Took a wallop when he came down there and bounced along the track. Nasty like, but hopefully he's okay. Just a quick look at Peter Schroeck out there. We'll just have a check, make sure everything's all right. Cam Heeps as well. Done tidy looking looking spill, but it was before they'd reached maximum speed going into the corner, so thankfully looks okay. We'll be all 4 back. The 2 minutes is already on, so no extra time needed for Luke Killeen, which possibly is an early call for Chris DURNO, because there is some work going on there, as we can see. Luke's certainly not happy. So this has put a bit of pressure on Luke Killeen, to be honest. Sometimes you do just see that extra couple of minutes given when we have an incident. So Luke's got 1 minute and 15. Looks like they're working on the throttle on the right hand side of the handlebar there. That seems to be the focus. That throttle there. Yep, looks like it's good. Looks like we're okay. He's got 50 odd seconds to get back around to tapes, and we'll go for a rerun of heat number 2. Dayle WOOD off the inside in white for Berwick. Francis Gusts red off gate number 2. Made a great gate first time out, Francis. Jack Smith yellow, gate 3 for Berwick, and Luke Killeen blue off of gate 4 for Oxford. Keith Cook Construction, they sponsor the rerun of heat number 2. It was Jack Smith and Luke Killeen that came together on that run up to the first turn. Luke Killeen just coming off worst. Coming down pretty heavy. Thankfully no damage done. And he's good to go again, same machine. No real drama. Here we go. Oh, not good for Jack Smith. He's left at the start line. It's a great start for Francis Gusts again. The battle here, Dayle WOOD, Luke Killeen round the outside, reminiscent of Craig Cook in heat number 1. Luke Killeen gets himself up into second place. Disaster for Jack Smith, left on the start line there. With Francis Gusts out front, Luke Killeen comfortable second. Dayle WOOD, who did hold second place going around that first and second turn. Now the Oxford boys just need to calm down. Luke Killeen was carrying all the shale there off the back wheel of Francis Gusts coming off of turn 4. But it's settled down. Big gaps between all 3 riders here. Francis Gusts from Luke Killeen, from Dayle WOOD, 1 lap to go. It does look like Oxford, if they all stay upright, are going to get a second 5-1 on the spin. As they come around turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Again, tapes to flag for Francis Gusts. Luke Killeen, bit of work to do around the first and second turn, but got himself up into second place to join his teammate over the top of Dayle WOOD. And it was Jack Smith, unfortunately, didn't get off the start line. And it is the perfect start. 2 5-1s on the spin. Yeah, I wonder what happened to Jack Smith there. There was a chain come off at the start. There we go, Francis Gusts with the win from Luke Killeen, Dayle WOOD in 3rd, Jack Smith at the back, Oxford 5, Berwick 1, second one on the spin, 10 points to 2 after 2 heats here, and the perfect start for the home side. See Zach Cook and Mitch McDIARMID there out ready to go for heat number 3. It's going to be the Oxford pairing. So we're just going to wait and see who's going to come out in white for the rider replacement ride. For Daniel Hume in this one. There we can see Sam Hagen, he's our man. So Sam Hagen will take that first rider replacement ride. Last in his first one, but he would have learned from the experience going out in heat number 1. Up against a strong Aussie pair in there, Mitch McDIARMID and Zach Cook. So Captain Kemp has got some work to do here for his Berwick side. He's going to want to stop this rot of 5-1s. We're going to be looking to him to do that. Berwick are going to be hoping that what Sam Hagen picked up in heat number 1, he can transfer that here and get himself in amongst the points in heat number 3. What's going on there with Drew, just outside that. There we go, he's coming around now. So a minute and 15 till tapes up. So Cook just working the rut, getting himself the best possible gating position. Gate number 3. So here we go, Mitch McDIARMID, blue helmet colour, he's going to be off the inside of this heat number 3 for Oxford. Sam Hagen, second ride for him, he's the reserve rider replacement ride for Daniel Hume in this one. He's going to be in white off of gate number 2. Zach Cook in red, gate number 3, guest this afternoon for Jordan Jenkins. And Drew Kemp, yellow helmet colour off of gate number 4. Liquid Screed, they're our sponsors of heat number 3. And it's a heat where really Berwick have got to get something from this. Pressure massively on Captain Kemp's shoulders. But he has found some form of late. Drew Kemp has been riding really well. Going to hope that he can get out of that start, get over the top of these 3. He's got a long way to go off for 4 here. Pretty close to the fence, Drew. Here we go, heat number 4. Zach Cook, Mitch McDIARMID, Sam Hagen, Drew Kemp. Takes up and away we go. Mitch McDIARMID lifts but gets plenty of pull up into that first turn. Cuts across his teammate Zach Cook, who comes back across Sam Hagen into second, but keep an eye on Drew Kemp. He's looking adventurous. He's gone out a little bit deeper. Looking to use the outside line, carries bags of speed down into lap 2 from Drew Kemp. Will he get a run around the outside of Zach Cook? That's an excellent lap 2 from Drew Kemp if he keeps that. Going all the way around the outside of Zach Cook, and he does. Hats off to Drew Kemp. It's Mitch McDIARMID out front. Second place now, Drew Kemp. Zach Cook in third and Sam Hagen in fourth at the moment. So Drew Kemp's done well to split the Cheetahs pair. He's now setting chase for Mitch McDiarmid out front. And to be fair to Drew, he looks fast. Looks like he's got the speed, and like I was saying, he's pretty adventurous out there. He's working a deeper outside line. He's going on one last throw of the dice. But Mitch McDiarmid's riding a nice line and holds on to the win. Mitch McDiarmid takes the win from Drew Kemp. Zach Cook in third. Sam Hagen at the back. So it is a heat advantage. Does extend the lead, but it's not a 5-1. Drew Kemp doing his bit there just to stop that flow of 5-1s. A great win for Mitch McDiarmid out front from Drew Kemp there in second. Zach Cook in third, and it was Sam Hagen at the back. So it was a 4-2 to Oxford, 14-4 after 3 heats. Drew Kemp did incredibly well there to keep that run going, got round the outside of Zach Cook into that second place. But couldn't get his wheels in line, couldn't get the speed, couldn't catch up with Mitch McDiarmid, who took a great victory. Here we can see it from the start. And again, it was Oxford boys that got out of the tapes into that first turn first. Cook there just cutting back, coming over the top of Sam Hagen, but this is where Drew just starts to line up the outside run. You can see Drew Kemp has got speed, he's a bit deeper out there. Zach Cook knows what he's trying to do, he just moves out a little bit, but just there, look, you can see Drew got loads of pull coming over the start-finish line into lap 2, and he's just in the perfect spot there. A bit like what Luke Killeen and Craig Cook have done in the opening couple of heats, but Zach put it back to him there, and he had to work that little bit harder there to get the drive off of turn 4 to get himself up into second place, but he did that very well. And he managed to split the Cheetahs pair, which again stopped it from being a 5-1, but it was a 4-2 and it does make it 14-4. So while we've got the grader and maybe a bit of water coming out on the track, let's head over to the pits where I think we've got Laura.
That is at Leicester.
Thank you very much, Lee, and welcome down to the pits for the first time this evening. We're going to have a wander down and see what's going on in the Oxford camp and see if we can maybe grab somebody to chat to. So we've had the hat trick of heat advantages so far for Oxford tonight, and we can see there we've got Senna Summers is working hard on Luke Killeen's bike after that unfortunate dismount in heat 2, but they'll have a little bit of time to get things back up and running. Obviously, we mentioned earlier it's been a few weeks in between Cheetahs meetings, which will have given this gentleman here behind you, Cameron Heeps, hopefully a little bit of time to work on his fitness. And we can see him there just having a chat with Mark Courtney and also Mitch McDiarmid's dad, who has just recently come over from Oz. So it's nice to see him jump straight into the pits on the spanners for his son, and whatever he's doing seems to have worked really well in that race just before. Down in the Oxford camp as well this evening, we've got Jordan Jenkins and Dan Jilks is always here as well. So a real team effort. Even with the boys being sidelined at the moment, they are here to help everybody and use their knowledge to get everybody going on the night. We will just see if we can grab Francis for 2 seconds. Francis, you look a bit warm. How is it out there this evening?
Oh yeah, it's really hot here. It's really hot, but yeah, track looks okay, and yeah, we hope to keep on doing 3 points.
Yeah, so 3 heat advantages so far has got Oxford off to a really, really good start. What's your plan for the rest of the evening? Obviously, as the temperature might start to drop a little bit, will that change what you do?
Yeah, I don't think temperature will drop so much that it will make some difference. But yeah, of course, we will check how the track changes and how the weather changes. But for now, it looks like it will be hot all evening.
Definitely. Best of luck for the rest of this evening. Thank you. We will hand you back up to Lee in the commentary box and see if we can possibly find someone else to speak to.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. Good to hear from Francis there. He did really well in his first ride. He made the gate in the first run-in, made the gate in the second run-in, and then just bossed the heat. So we've just got a bit of track grading and water going down. Probably 1 heat before we're normally used to. We normally get it in heat 4, but like I said earlier on, the riders are always in comms with Jamie because he watches the meeting from the pits there. and there's obviously the message got through that they just want a little bit of work done on the track, so the grader is out. And I imagine we'll get a little bit of water down as well. There's the gate stats. So we've got a winner off 3 different gates so far. 1, 2 and 3. Nothing off of 4 yet, a few points, but no race winner. So early days on that score. Well, something from each of those inside gates. So 3 heat winners for the home side. And there's opening 3 heats, and the only second place coming from Drew Kemp. So while the grader is still out doing a bit more work, let's head back over to the pits and we'll hear again from Laura.
Yep, as Lee said, the track grade is still taking place behind us, so let's have a wander down and have a look in the Berwick camp. It's lovely to see Craig Cook back in action, feeling better from his recent illness, and I think, as we mentioned, hopefully he will return for the Spires tomorrow at Leicester as well. There are no strangers to Oxford in the Berwick camp. We have Drew Kemp, had a brief spout here last season. Sam Hagen, who has done some guest appearances for us, and of course 2 of our very own Spires in the team with Peter and Cookie. Let's see, behind us here we've got team manager Stewart DIXON. See if we can have a quick chat with him. Welcome to Oxford. Possibly not got off to the start that you were wishing for, but how are you going to turn that around with the boys this evening?
It's not the start we wanted. Very disappointing to be 10 points down after 3 races. Any sort of game plan that I had's kind of looking rather difficult to achieve now. Well, obviously, I'm looking at the gates, see what's winning races, and I'll use one of my rider replacement rights for Daniel. I'll use a tactical in that to try and get some benefit out of that. But at the moment, we're getting out gated. You know, there's only 3 races gone, but effectively the meeting's almost over already, which is very disappointing. But listen, we'll stick at it. There's no point in me shouting and bawling because it'll not make any difference, but I'll go in quietly, have a wee word before the races and try and get them going. We are better than what we've put out so far, but if we keep doing this, it's going to get pretty embarrassing, and a few backsides will need to get kicked, yeah.
Obviously, you've moved Drew into that captain spot with the unfortunate loss of Daniel, who we send all of the best wishes to. He's got some big shoes to fill, but is he the right man for the job?
I'll echo what you said about Daniel. You know, he's one of the nicest kids in the sport, and it's a shame. And if he's watching or does watch later on when he's feeling better, we send our best wishes. Drew, I don't think he's ever been a captain before, but he's excelled as a Berwick rider and Leicester rider this season. He's actually our longest serving rider, which is quite something because he's only been here 18 months. So he was quite happy when I offered him the chance. We'll see how it goes. I know he's in a couple of bike problems at the moment. He's not been able to go round the lads and speak to them the way he wanted to. But I think he's a good choice, and it might grow him a little bit as a personality in the pits. That's the plan.
Best of luck for the rest of this evening. Let's hope you can start to claw back a few points.
Thank you. Cheers.
Lee, obviously we spoke about losing Daniel from the Berwick team temporarily, and Drew stepping into the shoes. What are you thinking about that? What are your thoughts?
Always good to hear from Stewart. He's got work to do already, Stewart, hasn't he? This is not the way that he would have wanted to start this meeting, but it is what it is. He's got work to do. He's have to think about how he's going to work the next few heats. He's obviously going to see Peter Kildemand out in the next one, a man who's more than capable of jumping out the start and taking the win. There's Drew. There's Jack Smith's bike. What really happened to Jack on the start line there? Doing a little bit of work to his bike. So he will be out with Peter Kildemand. He'll join Peter Kildemand in the next one. And he'll be up against Cam Heeps and Luke Killeen. Some more going in. So yeah, issues for Jack Smith in that first one. After that coming together with Luke Killeen. Thankfully Luke got up from that spill. Bounced about 15 metres down the track, but got up okay. You can see Drew's bike with no cover on. That's his bike that he's riding yet. That's the one he's working on. As you can see the clutch cover off there on the side. There's the clutch plates. So making a few changes there. Looked good from the back, Drew. To do it the hard way, but he managed to do it. Got himself up into second place. So riders are starting to get themselves ready for heat number 4. They'll be back around shortly. Hope you've enjoyed the first few heats here. 2 minutes are on. And we'll be back on track for heat number 4. So the grading breaks will probably follow suit again now. We'll have a few and then they'll do another grading break. Hopefully we can hear from Laura again down in the pits. It's Jack Smith coming out. He's got a minute and a half to get himself round to tapes. Bags of time. The other 3 riders are already there, including Luke Killeen out for his second ride. Haywood first time out. Smith's going to be the last one to join us. Seconds or so, bags of time for this Nuffield Health Heat number 4. Luke Killeen off the inside in blue for Oxford. Paid win first time out. Jack Smith did get off the start line in his first one. He's going to be in yellow for gate number 2. First time we're seeing Cam Heeps this afternoon. He's going to be in red off the gate number 3. And likewise, first outing for Peter Kildemand. He's going to be in white off the outside for Berwick. So 14-4. Berwick already in need of some heat advantages. Cam Heeps in that first meeting back after his injury, after his accident against Scunthorpe, did look good, Cam. He was in good form. He'll be hoping to carry that on this evening. He has had an away one, which he struggled with a little bit since then, but we're back on home track. We're looking to do the business here in heat number 4. Tapes up and away we go, and it's a good start from Luke Killeen and Cameron Heeps. But Peter Kildemand is out where Peter Kildemand likes to be, and he's round 1, he's round 2. I think that took Luke Killeen by surprise. But Peter Kildemand doing what he does best, all the way around the outside of the 2 Cheetahs. Luke Killeen just locking up a little bit, which causes Cam Heeps to lock up a little bit. But what it does do is it lets Peter Kildemand just pull away out front. He's got his back wheel out on that line. He's riding wider than most have done so far this afternoon. And he's looking fast out front from Luke Killeen, from Cam Heeps. Jack Smith currently at the back. It's just strung out a little bit now, this one with a lap to go, barring any mechanical failure or incident. Berwick are going to get their first points, first race win on the board. And it is going to come from Peter Kildemand, who's in great form at the moment, Peter. He takes the win. Luke Killeen's not a million miles away. Fair play to Luke Killeen for keeping on the gas and pushing Peter Kildemand for the 4 laps. And Cam Heeps, he takes that 3rd place. Jack Smith at the back, so 3-3. Again, still a 10-point gap, but it's just not extended from a Berwick point of view. So there we go, Peter Kildemand with the win. Did it the hard way, all the way around the outside of both Luke Killeen in 2nd and Cameron Heeps in 3rd. 3-3 scoreline, 17-7 after 4 heats here. But a positive for Berwick with a win for Peter Kildemand. You can see it from the start. Again, both the Cheetah boys made the gate, but Peter Kildemand made a good one there, and he's just on that line. He's in the perfect place. But just keep an eye as he goes around the outside of Luke. I don't think Luke was overly expecting that. You should know Peter Kildemand well enough by now to know what Peter's going to do. And he just caught him by surprise. There's me up there. It's incredibly warm up here. There's my wave. Somebody said I didn't wave last time. There we go. The boys come out for heat number 5. They're not messing about. Referee Chris DURNO, he's got that 2 minutes on already. But 4 paid 5 for Luke Killeen from his 2 rides. That's an excellent return. He's almost done his job already, Luke. He'll want more, obviously. We're going to see Zach Cook and Mitch McDIARMID. They got a 4-2 in their opening, 5-1, sorry, in their opening heat. That was a 4-2, wasn't it? Because Drew Kemp got the better of Zach Cook. So here we go. Teng Tool sponsored heat number 5 sees Sam Hagen off the inside. Says a 2 there, but Sam's actually failed to score so far. He's going to be in yellow off the inside. Zach Cook, he's going to be in red off of gate number 2. Craig Cook, white, gate number 3. And Mitch McDiarmid, winner first time out, he's going to be in blue off of gate number 4. So Peter Kildaman's winning that last one now means that we've had a winner off of 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the opening 4 heats. So no excuse from anybody, you can do it from anywhere. But Sam Hagen out for his 3rd ride in 5 here. Failed to score in his opening 2. He's going to be looking to turn that round a little bit here. No easy rides for when you come to an away track like this. And a team like Oxford, solid throughout, makes it very difficult for the likes of Jack Smith and Dayle WOOD and Sam Hagen. But learning all the time, those guys. Okay, let's see what heat number 5 brings us. Zach Cook, Mitch McDiarmid, Craig Cook, Sam Hagen. Start Marshall walks away, takes up on heat number 5, and it's an even one. And I tell you what, Sam Hagen's got plenty of drive up into that first turn, but he's gone across the corner. Whoa, very tight coming down the back straight as Craig Cook gets the better of everybody into the lead. But keep an eye on Sam Hagen. Will he go round the outside of Zach Cook? Zach Cook just moves back up the inside, but Sam's on the right line. As long as he can get his wheels in line, he'll get a nice big long run going down into turn 3 and 4. Carry that speed. He's got to keep an eye on Mitch McDiarmid up his inside, and Mitch takes advantage. Sam just not looking committed there at all, really, and he could have done, and he would have held on to a point scoring position. But Craig Cook did the business down the back straight for the first time, got himself out front. Zach Cook and Mitch McDiarmid have both had to work hard to get themselves ahead of Sam Hagen into 2nd and 3rd, just for a share of the spoils. But for a moment or two it might have been Berwick's heat, but they'll take another heat winner in Craig Cook from Zach Cook, from Mitch McDiarmid, and Sam Hagen at the back. So a positive in a race win, but it does just keep that 10-point advantage for the home side. Good solid win for Craig Cook. Yeah, Craig Cook takes the win for Berwick. 2nd place was Zach Cook. 3rd was Mitch McDiarmid and Sam Hagen at the back. So 3-3 makes it 20-10 after the first 5 heats. You can see it from the start, and it was actually Sam Hagen made a great gate off the inside. Keep an eye on Sam in yellow. Pretty even going up, but then just here Sam stamps his authority on that opening turn. But keep an eye on Craig Cook as he cuts between everybody down the back straight. Probably put Sam Hagen off a little bit, but Sam's in a perfect spot there. If you can just keep that run going around and not get any lock-up, tiny bit of lock-up from him that allowed Zach Cook up the inside of him. And again, I just didn't feel like Sam was attacking, because he's looking fast, he's in a good position on the track. But again, just there a little bit, it almost allows Mitch McDiarmid up the inside. But, you know, nothing against Sam. He's riding against riders that know this track very well, and it's always difficult when you're at an away track. But, you know, fortunately slipped from 2nd there. He was out front in the opening exchanges, and then just drifted backwards as the heat went on. So it was a 3-3, 20-10 the scoreline as we move into heat number 6. And it's a good heat, this one. It's a heat that sees Sam Masters off the inside in red for Oxford. Off of gate 2 in white, Peter Kildemand for Berwick. Both heat winners first time out. Jonas KNUDSEN, blue off of gate number 3. And Dayle WOOD, he's going to be in yellow off of gate number 4. The Real Mini Company, they sponsor heat number 6. And a couple of big hitters off the inside in Sam Masters and Peter Kildemand. And Jonas KNUDSEN, a man that did follow his partner home in that heat number 1 for the 5-1. And Dayle WOOD, who picked up a point in that opening heat number 2. Fans on the terraces. We're happy to see Sam Masters out in this one. He's been in such fantastic form, Sam Masters. Last time I looked, he was top the averages for the championship. Surprised me if he was still there. Jack Smith looks on from the pit, so here we go. Heat number 6. Masters and Knudsen. Kildemand and Wood. Sam Masters with a great gate off of 1. Peter Kildemand goes all the way across the 2 riders, Knudsen and Dayle WOOD. Jonas tries to get back up the inside of his Danish compatriot, but can't make it work. So Sam Masters out front. Peter Kildemand second. Jonas Knudsen in third. Dayle WOOD just tailed off a little bit already at the back. And you do just get the feeling that I'm going to have less to talk about in this one than I've had in some of the others, because Sam Masters is already pulling away. He's riding the line. You're not going to catch him from there. Peter Kildemand looking pretty comfortable in that second place, as is Jonas Knudsen in third. And Dayle WOOD again just learning as he's going at the back there. But there's a few bite lengths between all 4 riders at the minute, and a bit like earlier on, barring anything mechanical or any individual incident, this is going to be a 4-2 to Oxford. Sam Masters looking exemplary out front, incredible form, incredible rider, just has a quick check over his shoulder. He takes the checkered flag from Peter Kildemand, from Jonas Knudsen. When he's in this form, it's really difficult to get the better of Sam Masters around the Bet Goodwin, that's for sure. And they just do extend that lead to 12 points. Masters will come around, take the applause. Second win of the afternoon for Sam Masters. Punches the air, just has a quick look at the gate. He's obviously going to be off of gate 4 in his next one. That's why he's having a quick nose. So tapes the flag for Sam Masters. Peter Kildemand in second, Jonas Knudsen third. Dayle WOOD at the back, 4-2 to Oxford. 24-12, the progressive score after 6 heats. And there's a heck of a lot for Berwick to do here if they're going to work their way back into this meeting. Yeah, we can see it from the start. Keeping an eye on Sam Masters off the inside. He's already stamped it off. Peter Kildman's gone across the other 2 to try and get that wider line and that run, and he managed to get it over the top of Jonas Knudsen into second. But with a rider like Sam Masters, it's going to be incredibly difficult once he's got out front. He's got his wheels in line, he's pulling away, he's looking fast, in control. And he's so supreme around this track at the moment, Sam. So we've had 6 heats now. There's the gate stats, 1 and 3, they're coming in. There's a couple of wins off of both of those, but majority of points off the inside, gate 1, but spread across all 4, pretty even. Gate's looking pretty even and pretty fair at the moment. Wherever you are, you can gate and go. And we've seen a couple of overtakes from the back as well. But 1 and 3. Here's the gates at the moment. So we've got the graders out, we've got the tractor out. Bowser's going to come out as well, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll head over to the pits and have a quick chat with Laura.
Thank you, Lee. We mentioned that he was here in the pits this evening, so we're just going to have a quick catch up with Jordan. Not the conversation we want to be having tonight, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty gutted, to be honest. It's a bit frustrating that I'm nearly 2 weeks down the line from the crash, and I haven't really got many updates at the minute. So I went to fracture clinic last week and they confirmed that I've done my MCL, but it's just finding the extent that I've done it to. The NHS MRI scans are pretty slow, so I had to go privately, and I had a scan on Monday morning and I was hoping to have the results before today, and it's not been the case. So hopefully by tomorrow we should have something, and then I can start some rehabilitation and know where we're going to go. So frustrating time, and yeah, but hopefully we spend a little bit of time out now, get fully fit and come back properly.
Yeah, and you've not had the best of luck this year, I think it's safe to say, but maybe sometimes a little bit of time away from it gives you a chance to reset. What sort of plans do you have? Obviously, once you've got the news for your knee, you get your rehab going. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, as you say, not the best of luck, but when you look at my averages, I'm still doing all right. I think I got the highest average in the Premiership for Rising Stars, and my average isn't terrible in the Championship, even though I want it to be further on than I am. I don't think I've done terribly bad. I've had a couple of terrible meetings, but yeah, we'll keep, trying to get back, and yeah, you say wait for the results of the MRI, and then sort of see how long I'm going to be out for, and yeah, I want to be back as soon as possible, so, but at the same time I want to give it the right amount of time to heal so I can come back properly and ride how I know I can. And your doctors are saying 2 to 3 months, but doctors always go a bit over exaggeration. So yeah, we'll see where we're at in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I hope your recovery goes well, and next time we talk to you, hopefully it'll be a different story. Thank you. I'll pass you back up to Lee.
Yeah, good to hear from Jordan there. Like we were saying earlier on, just a bit of a magnet for incident this season. It's been really unfortunate for him, and we hope to see him back fighting fit in the near future. So just a nice shout out from Lawrence Heppel. Well, Lawrence has sent me an image via Dick Barry in the pits of Jack Smith's bike, and I think it was a complete blow for Jack in that first one. The engine completely blew. So yeah, expensive heat number 2 for Jack Smith there, which has meant he's had to change machines. But yeah, the scores on the boys just tricky at the moment. So let's head back over to Laura. We can see there is with Sam Hagen.
Thank you so much, Lee. Sam, obviously a tough start for this evening. However, you know, the night's not over yet, and Oxford do have to come up to Berwick in a couple of weeks. And I think it's fair to say Berwick are really strong at home.
Yeah, we're strong at home. It's shame about tonight. Sort of felt like the bike was completely off in the first two, and then did feel like I got fenced by Cookie in the last one, but which sort of then it was so hard to come back from that. And but they were racing in front, and it is what it is. I can't change it, so I've got 2 races though, so I can change it.
Yeah, exactly, and it's about regrouping, isn't it, and going again. And you've got a fantastic bunch of guys around you in the team. We were talking earlier to Steve, and Drew's stepped in as captain. It's probably a little bit daunting for him, but big shoes to fill, and I'm sure you guys are going to want to get some results on the board for Daniel.
Yeah, it's a shame about Daniel, obviously captain, and obviously he's had a good start, and it was just one of those things couldn't really be avoided, but Drew stepped up, and I think he's got something to learn from it, hasn't he? So, but no, obviously hard one for the first one for him, because obviously we were all sort of had a couple bad rides, but I still have 2 races. I think a lot of the boys still have 2 or 3, so we're still in it. So just keep our head down and keep going.
I can feel the heat radiating off you, so I'll let you get back to trying to cool down in your pit bay. Thank you so much. Berwick boys really trying to keep their heads up this evening, and the night is far from over yet. I'll hand you back up to commentary with Lee.
I tell you what, Laura, there's not many people that could get an interview with the riders that had 3 last places. So fair play to you, and a massive shout out to Sam Hagen, because it's awesome to hear from Sam there. You know, hats off to him for just having a chat with Laura there about his afternoon so far. Tough one. But he has been in good form. He has shown a little change in form, and starting to score some points for both Birmingham in the top league and Berwick in this league. So that'll come good again for Sam. It's just a bit of a tricky afternoon for him so far. But I think the issue that they've got this afternoon is that rider replacement ride for Daniel and Hume. They can only lean on one above, which is Drew Kemp, and then all the riders below, which is Sam Hagen, Dayle WOOD and Jack Smith. And of course, because Daniel's riding at 3 with Drew, or Daniel should be riding at 3 with Drew, 3 of his rides are with Drew Kemp. So Drew is in those rides anyway. So that means it's got to be one of those other riders, unless some kind of tax sub is used. And 12 points down. I'm sure Stewart DIXON's got something up his sleeve. I'm sure he's going to be throwing something back at this. And Peter Kildemand and Craig Cook, he's got 2 riders that are starting to score some points. Drew looked good in his first ride. So they've got 3 riders there that are going toe-to-toe with the Cheetahs. It's just that backup of the side at the minute, just struggling to keep up. So you can see all of our social accounts across the bottom of the screen there. Website, Facebook, Twitter. I don't go X. Twitter, Instagram. So and email for the club. So yeah, keep an eye on what's going on with Oxford. If BSN or TNT are here, we step down for the evening. But as long as those 2 aren't here, we're going to be streaming all the meetings this season. Hopefully the Cheetahs can go the distance and get themselves into those playoffs. They're looking the most likely out of themselves and the Spies at the moment. And in the National League, the Chargers are doing incredibly well at the moment, sat top of the league. They'll be looking to regain that title that they lost to Leicester last season. So just a Bowser out, bit of water going into the surface. The sun is clouding over a little bit now, so it's not so hot. It's cooling down a little bit, which will help with the track, but it's riding okay so far. There is the outside line, which you've seen a few of the boys take. Cam's just keeping an eye there on the track. He's going to be off of gate 2 in then heat number 7. He's going to be out with Francis Gusts. Cam picked up a paid third in his first ride, and Francis Gusts, he won that heat number 2. And again, he's a rider which you would think at reserve, Francis Gusts can score points at this level. And that has proved in the last couple of meetings where he's picked up a 9+1 and an 11. So he has done that so far. He's certainly got all the ability to be able to do that from this level. There's a change, just Jamie Courtney just getting some water into the track, predominantly around those corners. But there's a long way back for Berwick in this one. There we go, we can see the tape, and you know, screams out at us, doesn't it? You know, Craig Cook with the win last time. He's got his 4 points, but unfortunately nothing for Sam Hagen so far. Second place for Drew Kemp, hard fought second place. He'll be out for his second ride in the next heat. Peter Kildemand, great 5 points for him so far. And then they're struggling just 1 point from the 4 rides from Dayle WOOD and Jack Smith down there at reserve. And for the home side, different picture. Sam Masters unbeaten, hasn't been anywhere near touched yet. Jonas KNUDSEN 3+1. He's on 4 points. Zach Cook solid 3. Guesting for Jordan Jenkins today. Mitch McDIARMID 4+1 with a race win. Cam will be out for his second ride next, as will Francis Gusts, who was winner first time out, and Luke Killeen 4 paid 5. So you can see the difference on the scoreboards. Scoring top to bottom at the moment for the home side. And really we've only got 3 riders that have come to tape so far for the away side, including that man there, Peter Kildemand. I know Peter very well from his time with Swindon. Go back a long way. He's a great guy. It's good to see him back over here racing in the UK. It continues for a few years. Doing the business for starting to really dial in for the Spies in the top league. Just starting to really find his feet. And doing exactly the same for Berwick in the second division. I think everyone expects Peter just to jump on, especially for Berwick. You're going to tracks where you would expect him to score big, but a lot of the time he's going to those tracks for the first time, or he hasn't been there for many years, so it's always going to be quite difficult for him. But he's finding his feet, and it's good to see him scoring well in British Speedway again. So Tractor and Bowser are making their way off. Starting gate is being pulled back into position. Sam Masters there. 2 race wins. He looks so good at the moment, doesn't he, Sam? He's well on the way to another double-figure score. 2 race wins from 2. Doesn't look troubled at all. And today he's got the support of his teammates. Not forgetting that the last 2 meetings here have been defeats for the Cheetahs, only by very small margins, but defeats nonetheless. So this is a great return to home action and home form for them. And they're going to be, Peter Schroeck's going to be incredibly happy with how it's gone so far. As we move on to what could be extremely exciting heat number 7. Something's got to give for the away side, and they're going big in this one with Peter Kildemand out in white. So it is it's not a rider replacement rider as such in this one. It is a tack sub. They're going big with Peter Kildemand. He's going to be off the inside in white for Berwick. Cameron Heeps red off of gate 2 for Oxford. Gate 3 Drew Kemp, first time out, he'll be in yellow. Francis Gusts, winner first time out, he's going to be in blue. Enley and Son, lead work specialists, they are the sponsor of what is now a huge heat number 7 here. And they'll be hoping that Drew Kemp, who looked good in his first one, and Peter Kildemand, who's got 5 from his 2 rides, they can get one over here on Cameron Heeps and Francis Gusts. We shall see. There's DURNO, there's our referee. And Rob, our cameraman as well. So Peter Kildemand, what difference can he make to the Bandits in this one? Whatever happens, he'll stalk whoever's in front of him if he misses the gate, that's for sure. He's had success in those wider lines in his opening couple of heats. He finds himself off the inside here. He's had gate 4 and gate 2 so far, Peter. So here we go. Heat number 7. Heeps, Gusts, Kildemand, Kemp takes up, and away we go on 7, and it is Kildemand off the inside. Keep an eye on Kemp. He's going to go round the outside. of Cameron Heeps to join his teammate. And the Bandits, well, they're on a 5-1. First time this afternoon. Are they going to get that heat advantage? But Cameron Heeps, he's not done. He'll put it to Drew Kemp for the 4 laps. He's just getting that drive around the outside here. He's looking to go big, looking to go deep. Drew Kemp just straightens up, moves from inside to outside, from 3 into 4, but holds on to that second place. Peter Kildemand, he's checked out. No one's going to catch Peter Kildemand. The only difference here is whether Drew Kemp can hold on to that second place from Cameron Heeps. Looks good, he looks like he might well do it. Cameron Heeps has got 1 lap. Can he get back in the mix? Can he get up there to challenge Drew Kemp? I don't think he's gonna. I think this is going to be a big 5-1 for the away side. Stewart DIXON played his hand. It's worked perfectly. Peter Kildemand with the win. Second place for Drew Kemp. Third for Cam Heeps. And that is exactly what Berwick needed. If you're a neutral, it's exactly what the meeting needed. Big 5-1 to the away side. Peter Kildemand does look good this afternoon, as does Drew Kemp for the away side. First last place of the afternoon for the home side. Big 5-1 to Berwick. Peter Kildemand with the win from Drew Kemp. Cameron Heeps in third. Tried for a couple of laps, but then just could not get back into Drew Kemp. So it is a 5-1 for the Bandits. 25-17 after heat number 7. And a big tack sub that worked. That's off Stewart DIXON. And of course Peter Kildemand and Drew Kemp, who did the business on the track for the away side. You can see it from the start here. It was Peter Kildemand and Cam Heeps off the inside. But then just keep an eye on Drew Kemp. He moves across Francis Gusts and then just gets that move round the outside of Cam Heeps. And that run down the outside. Drew's off the line, so he's off that. Oh, that was close there. He just locked up a tiny bit with Cam coming round the outside. And Cam did put it to him for a couple of laps, but Drew looked quick. His engines are working. He's working. And yeah, positive response from the away side. This makes it a little bit interesting going into heat number 8. Obviously our protected heat. It can be reserve rider switches, but you can't make any tack subs or anything like that in this heat. So we're going to see KNUDSEN and Killeen for the home side. Hagen keeps his spot, as does Jack Smith. So we're running to programme in heat number 8. Abingdon Beds, they sponsor heat number 8, which is going to see Jack Smith off the inside in yellow on his second bike for the Bandits. Luke Killeen, 4-paid 5 from his 2 eyes. He's riding really well. Blue helmet colour, gate number 2. Sam Hagen, try as he might, nothing on the board yet. He's in white off of gate number 3. And Jonas KNUDSEN, 3+1, red helmet colour. He'll be off of gate number 4. So big heat this one. Can the Bandits just eat back into that advantage that the Cheetahs have got? Or will Luke Killeen and Jonas KNUDSEN, who are scoring points and riding well, got a combined 7, paid 8 from the home riders in this one. For the away side, not a point on the board yet. So they're going to be looking to change that. Kildemand off of gate 1. He gave us a winner last time out. Jack Smith finds himself off of 1. So 1 and 3 are the favoured gates at the minute, and that is where the Bandits boys find themselves in this one. But they are up against 2 riders in Killeen and KNUDSEN. They have scored points in each of their heats so far. KNUDSEN coming from the back on Cook in his first one, although Craig did get into a bit of bother to allow KNUDSEN to do it. But let's see. Heat number 8. 25-17, Start Marshall walks away, up go the takes, away go the boys. Really even going into that first turn. I'll tell you what, the Bandits have made the gate, but keep an eye on Jonas KNUDSEN up the inside. Luke Killeen bombs down the outside into second place. Out front, Sam Hagen got his head down, he's going for the win. Jonas KNUDSEN into third place, Luke Killeen second. They're going to be hunting down Sam Hagen. We got a race on. Jack Smith just starting to drift away a little bit in fourth place here, but keep an eye on Luke Killeen. He knows this track very well. It's fair play to Sam Hagen. He's riding well. He's attacking the track in this one, and he seems to be pulling away a little bit. This could be a real feather in the cap for Sam Hagen this afternoon, who's found the going tough to this point, but did the business from the start. 1 lap to go. He's going to hold on here. Luke Killeen still putting him under pressure. One little mistake from Hagen and Killeen will pounce. Killeen goes big into the last line, last corner, but he's not going to make that work on a run to the line. It is Hagen. Sam Hagen, from Luke Killeen, from Jonas KNUDSEN. You have to take your hat off to Sam Hagen there. Well done to that man. Probably a surprise result for many in that one. Well done to Sam Hagen. Comes round to take the applause from the crowd. Keeps it at an 8-point gap. And a good win there for Sam Hagen, his first 3 points of the afternoon from Luke Killeen, from Jonas KNUDSEN, Jack Smith at the back. 3-3 scoreline, 28-20. That 8-point gap remains. But it's another win on the board for the away side and a very good win for Sam Hagen. Just see a bit of action. Luke Killeen pushed him all the way. This was just the run to the line. Luke was just looking if he could get the run up the inside, but Sam always in control, flat out to the last. To take the win. So there we can see 1 and 3 really starting to come into their own, and look at the points as well. 28 off of gates 1 and 3, 20 off of gates 2 and 4, just the single wins off of 2 and 4 as well. So 1 and 3 starting to dominate from the tapes, and that is where the away side find themselves again in this one. Peter Kildemand back out again. He's in great form this afternoon. He comes up against Zach Cook and Mitch McDIARMID, who are solid in that middle order engine room for the home side. Proving a worthy guess at the moment. He's got his 3 points on the board, Mitch McDIARMID 4 points on the board. But Peter Kildemand 2 wins and a second behind Sam Masters. He's looking in very good form. He's joined by Dayle WOOD, picked up a 1 point in his opening ride, failed to score in his second ride. So heat number 9, SD Timo Car Sales Limited, they sponsor heat number 9, and it sees Peter Kildemand 8 points, white helmet colour. He's off the inside for Berwick. Mitch McDIARMID, paid 5, blue helmet colour. He's going to be off gate number 2. Dayle WOOD, 1 point, yellow helmet colour. He'll be off of gate 3 for Berwick. And off the outside will be Zach Cook, red helmet colour, 3 points so far for him. 28-20. Fair play to Berwick. They've just stemmed that flow. They got that heat advantage. They've had a couple of 3-3s in the last few heats, and they've just holding on to the coattails of the home side here. And with Peter Kildemand coming out, Stewart DIXON will be hoping that that doesn't change. Dayle WOOD can make that gate off a 3, get in amongst it, as we've just seen Sam Hagen. A great gate off a 3. Led for the entirety of the race. Just seemed to be attacking the track a little bit more than he did in that last ride, and got that win for Berwick. So, Chris DURNO, he's got that 2 minutes well on, 15 seconds until taped up. Here we go, Start Marshal gets the guys ready. Green light comes on, tapes go up, and Kildemand off the inside, but keep an eye on Zach Cook off the outside. Will he get the run? He's going to go round Wood, and he goes round Kildemand. Whoa, not much room down the outside for Zach Cook, but watch Peter Kildemand as he comes back up the inside. Whoa, that was close. I'm not sure if Zach Cook didn't shake his head a little bit there, but he's got himself out front, Zach Cook. Mitch McDIARMID cut back up the inside. Can he make it work on Peter Kildemand? No, he can't. Peter Kildemand is still pushing hard, still pushing that outside line. But Zach Cook out front, Peter Kildemand second, Mitch McDIARMID third, Dayle WOOD at the back. This heat just starting to settle down a little bit after a feisty opening lap with Cook and Kildemand out front. Cook looking good, 1 lap to go, Kildemand second, Mitch McDIARMID solid, unchallenged in third from Dayle WOOD at the back. Kildemand has it all to do, he's not going to do it from there. This is going to be a great win for Zach Cook. He's been an excellent guest so far this afternoon. He takes the checkered flag after that early battle with Peter Kildemand. Second is PK, third is Mitch McDIARMID, and Dayle WOOD at the back. So it is a heat advantage. It was up to Peter Kildemand, who felt there to just get that 3-3. But Zach Cook did the business, proving a great guest this afternoon. Zach Cook with the win, Peter Kildemand second, Mitch McDIARMID third, Dayle WOOD at the back. 4-2 to Oxford, 32-22, just extends that lead back to 10 points. And really that was a fantastic opening lap, that's for sure. Keep an eye on inside and outside here, really. Zach Cook in red, Peter Kildemand in white. So Kildemand made the gate over the top of McDIARMID, but watch Zach Cook here, there was not. What do we say, cigarette paper? Yeah, there wasn't a lot of room in that. And then just keep an eye on Peter Kildemand, because he really puts it here to Zach Cook, really pushes him hard. Little shake of the head there from Zach. I don't know if that was in response to Peter Kildemand or just the racing movement he had at the time. But yeah, look, he's pulled away there. Mitch McDiarmid did have a little nibble at Peter Kildemand there, but just could not get himself up to challenge, and then Peter pulled away. But it's a great win for Zach Cook, and it is another point on the board for Mitch McDiarmid. Jamie Lee, thumbs up on the decks. He's got his monster, got his fan. Fan's important. That fan is important. But he's not in the sun anymore. That is starting to move across. And he's dropped off the well-earned drink there. That lass. So 32-22. Yeah, just keeping the boys honest here. They're keeping the Cheetahs on their tail, on their toes. They're holding on to the coattails of them, not letting them get away. And Peter Kildemand, like we were saying, Drew Kemp and Craig Cook. They've got three riders that are really putting it to. There's me again. Oh, there's the sun. See if I step back there, look, in the shade, and then back out into the sun. Top the tan up. Top the tan up. Well, I get glasses lines. Beautiful day here in Oxford. Crowd solid. Got a lot of speedway to support here. So we can see the white helmet colour on Jack Smith. He's going to be the rider replacement for Daniel Hume in this one. But a bit like Sam Hagen, we didn't really expect Sam in Heat 8 to jump out and take the win for the away side. Can Jack Smith make the gate and get in amongst Jonas KNUDSEN and dare I say Sam Masters? So this is a big heat for the home side, big heat for the away side. What can Drew Kemp do? Can he just, get in amongst Sam Masters in that first turn? Sam finds himself off of gate 4. We haven't had a winner off of 4 for quite a few heats now. Drew finds himself off of 1. 1 and 3 still there. Zach Cook did win off of 4 in that last one. Rode a brilliant line round the outside. Made that work to great effect. Peter Kildman's really put it back to him in that first lap. So riders are at tapes. I don't think I see the 2 minutes come on this time, but it doesn't matter. The boys are at tapes for heat number 10. County Plumbing Supplies, they're sponsoring heat number 10, which is going to see Drew Kemp, 4+1, yellow helmet colour off the inside for Berwick. Jonas KNUDSEN, 4+2, blue helmet colour off of gate 2 for Oxford. Jack Smith hasn't got a point on the board yet, but that can all change. He's in white off of gate number 3, rider replacement ride. And Sam Masters, 2 wins from 2, red helmet colour, looking fantastic. He's going to be off of gate number 4. So, can anybody stop Super Sam? You feel it would be Drew Kemp in this one, but if Jack Smith can make the gate and just make Sam Masters' life difficult going into that first turn, that might play into the hands of Drew Kemp off the inside. But we've seen Sam do it all season long and last season, to be fair. We know what he's capable of. If he makes that trap, he'll get over the top of everybody. Jonas KNUDSEN in the mix as well. Jonas has got a second and a couple of thirds to his name, so he's got points in every ride. Just brings his goggles down. Gets himself ready. So 1 and 3 is where the away side find themselves, but it was gate 4 in that last ride. Sam super keen, he's ready. Start marshal just trying to get the Berwick boys into line. So here we go. Heat number 10, Sam Masters, Jonas KNUDSEN, Jack Smith, Drew Kemp. Takes up on heat number 10, and Jack Smith did for a moment get the better of Sam Masters, but boom, just like that, down the back straight, into the lead goes Sam Masters. We've seen it before and we'll see it again. He takes the lead from Jonas KNUDSEN. Drew Kemp has work to do here to try and split the Cheetahs pair. We've seen him do it this afternoon already. Oh, Jack Smith pretty close there to the back wheel of Drew, but Oxford looking good. Sam Masters out front. Jack Smith did gate with him, but once we got into their mix in that first turn, Sam got the run around the outside, down the back straight, into the lead, and he's gone. And to be honest with you, it looks like him and Jonas have got this one in the bag. It's going to be their second 5-1 of the afternoon for this pairing. They did the business in Heat 1. Looks like they're going to do the business in Heat 10 to extend the lead this afternoon for the Cheetahs. And you do feel that this would really put it out of the grasp of the away side. Sam Masters, fantastic as always from Jonas KNUDSEN. Drew Kemp in third, just couldn't get up there, Drew to challenge. And Jack Smith, unfortunately for him, at the back. So a big 5-1 for the home side. Like I say, second one of the afternoon for them. And that lead is just starting to creep away now. come Jonas and Sam. Thumbs up. Happy with that. Sam's going to find himself off of gate 2. Here he goes. I was going to say you're not off for 4 in the next one, Sam. You're off for 2. Just has a quick look. Thumbs up. Opportunity to take a look at the gate. Why not combine it? Who says men can't multitask? Sam Masters with the win. Jonas KNUDSEN second. Drew Kemp in third. Jack Smith at the back. Big 5-1 for the Cheetahs. 37-23 as we head into the interval here. And the Cheetahs, well, they're doing the business, aren't they? Maybe we can see it from the start. Fair play Jack Smith, because he did make the gate alongside Sam Masters. He's trapped with him there, but Sam just stamps his authority as they go into that first turn. And he gets to run all the way around the outside. Jonas has a quick look, a couple of times from Jonas. Sees Sam coming around the outside of him. And it's just now whether Drew Kemp can get up to challenge. But no, Jonas was in complete control of that second place for the entirety of that race, really. Drew was never a million miles away, but Jack Smith at the back just seemed to be cornering a little bit quicker than Drew and was catching him up in the corners. So let's just run through the scores top to bottom for you while we've got our interval. Yeah, only 2 rides so far for Craig Gook, but he's got a solid 4 from them 2 rides. Sam Hagen with an excellent win last time out for him. He'll be really pleased with that. He's done well there. Drew Kemp, 5 paid 6 from his 3 rides. Best rider so far, Peter Kildemand for the away side, 10 points from his 4 rides. And then down at reserve, where it tells a story, but unfortunately for those 2 guys, 1 point from 7 rides, Dayle WOOD and Jack Smith. That's just where this meeting is getting away from the Bandits. And for the home side, Sam Masters, excellent form, 3 from 3 for him, outstanding. Jonas, his programme rides are done, 6 paid 9, excellent from that number 2 position. Zach Cook picked up a win 3rd time out, solid 6 points in the middle of the side there. He's still got a ride to come, as has Mitch McDIARMID, who's got 5 paid 6 as well. Cam Heeps, 2 paid 3, he's going to be looking to add to that in his last couple of rides. Francis Gusts a win and a last. And then Luke Killeen, 3 solid second places for him, 1 of them paid. So a paid 7 for him, so you can see it on the score charts. Oxford in control. Let's head over to the pits where I think Laura's going to get us a couple of interviews.
Thank you very much. Pete, there's been a lot of talk over the season about your fantastic choice of guests, and it looks like you've done it again. Zach's definitely filling the slot in the team well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you know, we've been quite blessed with some good guests, and maybe helps that I get on with them as well. So, yeah, he does what it says on the tin with him. He gives it his all, and that last race, absolutely awesome when he went around Peter, you know. So, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, we maybe weren't expecting that move after Peter's performance here on Monday.
Yeah, no, I mean, Peter's, everybody calls him the Spider-Man, don't we? You know, he's on the outside, he don't give you much room, and I think Zach just blinked for a second and went through it, you know, and got away with it. So, yeah, some good racing here tonight, so, yeah, really pleased with it.
14-point lead at the moment, but it's important to not take your foot off the gas because Berwick is a tough track to visit, isn't it?
I just had this conversation just now, you know, and it's the more points we're going to bring together here when we go up there, they're a complete different animal, you know, so we've got to take as much up there as possible to get that bonus point as well and see how we get on.
Thank you very much, Pete. I'll let you crack on.
No worries. Have a good day.
We will continue down the Oxford pit bay just to see what the guys are doing in the interval break. Lots of visits to the water fridge, I think. As a common theme of this evening, it is very, very warm. And also, random fact for you, if you see us waving our arms around a bit, there are a lot of flying ants. So we are getting attacked by flying ants. So apologies for anything random that you might have seen there. We've got Cameron Heeps just behind us. We'll see maybe if he'll have a quick chat with us. Thank you so much. Cam, I think last time I spoke to you it was your first meeting back and you were still quite sore. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I was very sore that meeting, and especially the Friday I was really struggling. Yeah, I feel pretty good now. I haven't really got any pain. I'm just struggling tonight. I don't know, maybe we've missed something with the bike setup. Started with what we normally do, and I thought maybe the first one I wasn't riding the greatest, and then the second one I was like, no, I think we're missing something. So we'll make a few changes and, you know, hopefully get some fresh air and get another win.
But the team 14 points ahead, as I was just talking to Pete, so something's definitely working.
Yeah, the rest of the boys are doing their job, so thankfully they're doing that, and yeah, hopefully I can chip in the last 2 or 3 races.
It's been a long time off the bike as well, so that will be having an effect on you and just getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, you know, I think I had like 2 or 3 weeks off, and then I've done 2 meetings, and then I've had another 2 weeks off. So, yeah, just a bit of bike time, and you know, maybe I'm not 100% convinced about it, but for the first 2 rides, I haven't felt any pain in my ankles, so hopefully I can just build my confidence, and I think if I get some fresh air, I'll be okay.
It is great to hear that you're feeling better, and we'll catch you again soon. Thank you very much. So yeah, it is great to hear that Cam is on the mend. I feel like he might be being a bit tough on himself there. It's a pretty decent performance so far. He will always give it all. We're going to make our way down to the Berwick camp, so let's wander down the other end of the pits here. It is quite busy in here tonight, to be fair. I think Sorry's anticipated fixture when Berwick come to Oxford. Obviously you've got the Courtney rivalry, I think they called it earlier on. I'm going to see if I can borrow Peter for a second. Yeah, sure. Lovely to see you again. Decent night for yourself so far. Maybe a little bit tougher for Berwick at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it's tough. You know, they had a good side here. Yeah, we do what we can pushing on, but yeah, we will see.
Yourself and Lee Killeen got a bit close going into the third bend earlier. It looked like you caught him by surprise. Saw you have a little chat with him afterwards. What were you saying?
No, he said just how he get a bit like, yeah, he didn't thought I was coming that quick, but yeah, it was no hard feelings.
Definitely. So best of luck, Peter. We'll let you get back to your pit bay. Looks like you're hard at work getting ready for your next ride.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll pass you back up to Lee in commentary.
Yeah, great stuff, Laura. Really good to have you down in the pits. Just getting some reaction from the riders. Obviously Peter Schroeck, Cam and Peter Kildemand there. Good to see from a Spire's perspective, Peter Kildemand on form. That's what we want to see from a Spire's perspective, but we don't want to see him taking the victory away this afternoon from the Cheetahs. I don't think it's going to happen when you consider we've still got to see Sam Masters and Cam Heeps a couple of times before this meeting is out. But the away side, you know, you've got Craig Cooks, he's still got 2 more rides to come. So just a bit of work there going on for Sam Hagen. Sam's great win last time out for him. You've got to say fair play from that point of view, because it's difficult when you haven't scored any points and then all of a sudden you find yourself at the front. He's taking the oil out. Just going to change there. That tells us that Sam's going to be. He's supposed to be back out in Heat 11, and I think I think Stewart DIXON will keep him in. So I think we will see him in there again for sure. Drew just doing the same thing. A tough afternoon for Jack Smith for the away side, that's for sure. Tractor still out, just doing a bit of work. You see Jack talking to his dad Andy there. There's nothing that Andy hasn't seen. He's been there, seen it, done it. Dayle WOOD just taking stock of the afternoon. It's always going to be difficult for Dayle. So there's an update, and it's just starting to even out a tiny bit with Gate 4 coming into its own. 2 winners in the last couple of heats, Sam Masters and Zach Cook for the home side. That's what's given Gate 4 the edge in the last couple. But you can see points are pretty much spread across the 4. Gate 2's where you're not going to have to work a bit harder for Gate 2 to get yourself a win. 3 wins apiece off of everywhere else. So Craig Cook, yeah, it says Craig Cook just by the edge of the tash. Back protector there. Some of the riders now obviously have got like the airbags inside the suits. Old school back protectors as well. So a tough afternoon really for the away side. See the sun starting to set over the Bet Goodwin. Sam Masters, what can you say about Sam? Superlatives, you run out of them for him, don't you? He just looks in such complete control here at home. knows his track now really well. Just stamping his authority on it. Riding exceptionally well. Senna Summers, he's found some really good form at National League level. He's really kicked on. Killeen 3 solid second places for him. He's going to be really happy with that. So, Mitch McDIARMID, and great SGB2 for him the other day. Rode really well, did himself proud on track. That could prove a really worthy guest this afternoon. He's done the business, winning that last one 6 points. He's got 6.47 average, Zach, so he's pretty much on the money when it comes to his average. See the gearing on the backs. They tend to change the gearing as the meeting goes on. They've all got a setup that they'll choose when they first rock up, but then the track doesn't always play as they think it's going to play out, and that's when some gearing can change. They might change the jetting on the engine. Gearing's a big one. Important to share that information with your teammates. Sometimes some riders aren't the best at sharing that information. It's quite a personal thing, but it's good to share that. So you might have spotted a Justin Sedgman lookalike in the pits there. That's Brian Sedgman, his brother. Sedgman's over from Australia for a bit. Good to see him in the pits. He was coming here to have a bit of a jolly and enjoy this afternoon. But Dayle WOOD, Dayle WOOD made the call to say get on the spanners. And so he's in the pits helping. But good to see him. Familiar face from a few years ago. So we're 37.23. A little bit too much now for Berwick to do. It's just going to be damage limitation because obviously the first of the two here, they're going to want to try and keep this close to go back up to Berwick. And Oxford are going to want to try and get away. Well, that was a 45-all draw. I know the sides are different this season, but it was a 45 draw when they met there last year. 45 points apiece. Good shot there is Zach Cook. A popular guest. Paramedics, track staff starting to make their way back out. We can see the scattering of fans around turns 1 and 2, turns 3 and 4 there, sorry. No tapes offences this afternoon. We've not seen many tapes offences at Oxford this season compared to some places. Been pretty consistent from the starts. Just that one rerun so far for us. Been pretty event-free afternoon in that respect. You can see Francis Gusts and Cam Heeps, they're back out for their third rides this afternoon. As is Craig Cook, his third ride of the afternoon. And Sam Hagen, winner last time out. He's going to keep hold of that yellow helmet colour. Partner Craig Cook, and after the win that he had in heat number 8, who knows? Sam Hagen might just bring another win to the table for the away side. So we're just waiting for Chris DURNO, our referee, to put the 2 minutes on. I'll get the riders back round to tapes. Got a beautiful sunset here now over the top of the Bet Goodwin. And you can just see, look, top left of your screen. I know we've been back a few years now at Oxford, but I still love the fact that this club came back with a great resurgence. It's tabled the 3 sides this year. Again, it's been a big ask. It takes a lot out of everybody connected with the club. Scar down the back of that's Dan Gilks. Sky down the back of Dan's arm there. That'll tell a Speedway story, I'm sure. Be good to see Dan and Jordan back on a bike again soon. But we've got Francis Gusts in this one, who is in for one of them at the moment. And there we go, Cam Heeps, Francis Gusts. They make their way around to tapes. DURNO has flicked on the 2 minutes. It's allowed some of the sponsors to get into the centre green. It's got a couple of races from the middle. Sam Hagen with a practice start. Winner last time out, Sam. He'll be looking to go again. So here we go with heat number 11. Smiths of Bletchley, they sponsor heat 11. It's going to see Cameron Heeps, red helmet colour, paid 3 for him so far this afternoon off the inside for Oxford. Craig Cook, 4 points for him, white helmet colour, he's going to be off gate 2 for Berwick. Francis Gusts, winner first time out, then last in his second ride, he's in blue off of gate number 3 for Oxford. And Sam Hagen, 3 last places, then a fantastic win in heat number 8. He's going to be in yellow off of the outside for Berwick. So you do just feel there's a bit too much to do for Berwick to get anything out of this meeting now, but that aggregate score for Stewart DIXON and Drew Kemp there, captain and manager on screen for a second. That aggregate point is what they're going to be looking at now. Can they just draw the Cheetahs back in, get a little bit closer to them? And in Craig Cook and Sam Hagen, they've got 2 riders that have won races this afternoon. But they do come up against Francis Gusts, who he has won 1 race this afternoon. Cam Heeps, who's more than capable. So 10 seconds and counting. Star Marshall earning his keep, brings the boys into line. Heat 11, Heeps, Gusts, Cook, Hagen takes up, and away we go. Craig Cook's got the better of Cameron Heeps. Keep an eye on Francis Gusts. Goes across the corner, taking that wide line. Oh, I didn't know whether he'd try and switch back up the inside there, but importantly at the moment, Sam Hagen was in front of Cameron Heeps. Cam uses all of his track knowledge there to get the better of Sam Hagen to get himself back up into 3rd place. But what can Francis Gusts do out front about Craig Cook? Craig's working the outside, Francis working the inside. A couple of laps into this one and Craig Cook looking in control. Francis Gusts second. Cam Heeps looking like he's going to get his third place of the afternoon. But Sam Hagen, he's not a million miles behind. One little mistake from Cam and Sam could take advantage. He's really close. That's the battle in this one. Craig Cook looks like he's got the race tied up, but Cam Heeps just can't get away from Sam Hagen, who's moved up the inside. But Cam just comes back around the outside. It's going to be a tight 1 inside, 1 outside. Cook with the win. Keep an eye on Sam Hagen on the run to the line. Cam Heeps manages to hold on for the 3-3. Francis Gusts was in 2nd place. So another win for Craig Cook. But for Oxford, they pack into 2nd and 3rd. Francis Gusts and Cam Heeps takes them to that huge 40-point mark. Good win for Craig Cook, 2nd Francis Gusts, Cameron Heeps in 3rd. But Sam Hagen pushed him for 4 laps, that's for sure, but it was a 3-3, 40-26 as we move into the last 4 heats of this one. And you can see it from the start. Craig Cook immediately gets over the top of Cameron Heeps from the start. Just there, we can see the drive he gets going up into that turn. I didn't know if Francis Gusts here, he's got the run, you can see the speed, look at the pull off the bottom of the fence. I didn't know whether he might try and maybe look to come up the inside or just go big around the outside. In the end, he kind of did neither, but Cam Heeps, he did one, didn't he? Came around the outside of Sam Hagen into 3rd place. But again, you've got to give it to Sam, he didn't make it easy for Cam, as we can see there. He pushed him for the full 4 laps, made him work for his points. So we are going to see Drew Kemp out in white in this one. He gets the chance to take a rider replacement ride for Daniel Hume. In heat number 12, up against Zach Cook and Luke Killeen. 6 paid 7 for Luke, wonderful afternoon for him so far. And 6 points on the board for Zach Cook as well, and for Jordan Jenkins this afternoon. But in Drew Kemp, we've got a rider who's got, paid 6 so far for Drew this afternoon. Dayle WOOD, after that opening heat, 3rd place, has failed to score in his last couple. find himself off of that outside line. That has come to the party in the last few heats, it's fair to say. And Craig Cook made a worldie off a 2 in the last one. So, here we go. Colin Perkins, Property Maintenance, sponsor heat number 12. Zach Cook off the inside, 6 points, red helmet colour for Oxford. Dayle Wood, yellow helmet colour, 1 point so far for him, Berwick, gate number 2. Luke Killeen, 6 pace 7, blue helmet colour for Oxford off of gate 3. And a rider replacement ride, Drew Kemp comes in, 5+1 for Drew so far. He's going to be in the white helmet colour off of gate number 4. So, 40-26 as we move into the last 4 heats. You do feel the victory's in the bag for the home side, but what have Berwick got? What can they throw back at Oxford in these last few heats? Try and keep that score close to take it back up to Berwick for that second leg. Dayle Wood's found the going a bit tough this afternoon, so you do feel it is going to be. There's William Cairns on screen there. Man who's made a couple of excellent performances for Paul. First one of those on BSN. Managed to run the entire crowd giving out high fives after that meeting, William Cairns. Anyway, back to this afternoon. Zach Cook, Luke Killeen, Drew Kemp, Dayle Wood, who has found that going a bit tough, so it's going to be up to Drew Kemp, you feel, in this one. But we've got a race on, that's for sure. Heat number 12, 40-26. Green light comes on. Tapes are released and away they go. And Drew Kemp's made a great gate off of 4. He's got himself all the way over the top, but not of Zach Cook, who holds it. And keep an eye on Luke Killeen, bags of speed down the back straight for Luke. He's going to get a run round the outside, almost round the outside of his teammate. Luke Killeen, that was phenomenal. Thought he was going to pick off Zach Cook at the same time. Loads of speed, riding really well. And look at the gap already that the Cheetahs have pulled out on Drew Kemp. Zach Cook out front, Luke Killeen in second. Dayle Wood just a little bit out of shape at the back, and Drew Kemp in third. And it does look like it's going to be another 5-1. Luke Killeen can just settle it down a little bit now and pack in for that second place. Just a couple of times, just catching grit, lifting a tiny bit. Zach Cook out front is going to pick up another win. This is going to be a 9-point return from his guest booking. It's fantastic stuff for him. Couldn't have asked for much more, really. As they come around for the final time, win for Zach Cook. Luke Killeen with a great second, did all the hard work on the opening lap. And Drew Kemp in third. Just no answer, really, from Berwick here. Here's another 5-1 for the home side. And that is victory on the afternoon. Wonderful performance from Zach Cook, great guest. And Luke Killeen does love a second place this afternoon, loves a back wheel as well. Win for Zach Cook, second Luke Killeen, third Drew Kemp, Dayle Wood at the back, 5-1 to the Cheetahs over the Bandits in that one. 45-27, so that's victory on the night. Unless they get no more point scorers, which I don't think is going to happen. Here we can see it from the start. Drew made a great one off of 4, to be honest. Got himself over the top of Luke Killeen and his teammate, but here Zach rides a really tight, good line to get the speed. But keep an eye on Luke here, just carries bags of speed going into 3 and just keeps that run. Drew's kind of mid-track, lifting a tiny bit, and look, he's 4 or 5 bike lengths ahead as he comes out the turn. Number 4 there, Luke Killeen, and that was second place in the bag. Great heat from Luke Killeen. 45-27. So we move on to Heat 13, where we're going to see the dynamite duo of last year in Cameron Heeps and Sam Masters. 18 5-1s, I think I counted, that they racked up last year. There were 5-1 dynamite pair in them two, but they are going to come up against Craig Cook and Peter Kildemand in this one. So this is a super heat. This is a great heat. This will test Sam Masters, currently unbeaten from his 3 rides. 2 wins this afternoon for Kildemand, 2 for Craig Cook. Cameron Heeps has got 3 third places so far. He'll be looking to add a little bit more to that from this Heat 13, but it's not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. So dare I say a bit of a Spires pairing for the Bandits here against the Cheetahs top man in Sam Masters. That Cook off of gate 1 in that last one. And then it was gates 2 and 4 before that. But let's see what this heat brings us. Heat 13, Jamie Lee Sound Enterprises. Sponsor heat number 13, which is going to see Craig Cook, white helmet colour, 7 points for him so far. He's going to be off the inside. Sam Masters unbeaten, 3 from 3, 9 points. He's going to be in red off for gate number 2. Peter Kildemand, 10 points from his 4 rides so far. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 3. And 3 paid 5 for Cam Heeps. He will be in blue off of gate number 4. So Super Heat, always love a Heat 13. Brings out the big guns. It's where we sometimes get the fireworks. Sam Masters finds himself sandwiched there between Cook and Kildemand. Gates 2 and 4, they've won the last 3 out of 4 heats. That Cook in the last one bringing gate 1 back into play. So, to be honest, the gates are the gates. They're offering heat winners from everywhere. The lads at the Oxygen Bar, they can't take their eyes off this one. I suggest you don't either. 3 races to go. Big 13. Sam Masters, Cameron Heeps, Craig Cook, Peter Kildemand, Start Marshall walks away, takes up and away we go, and Sam Masters over the top of Craig Cook. Keep an eye on Peter Kildemand. He's out in that deeper stuff, gets the run around the outside of his teammate. Doesn't seem to commit as much as Luke Killeen did in the last one, but Cameron Heeps has, and he's come round the door shut by Craig Cook there. I was about to say Cameron Heeps has got the better of Craig Cook, but Craig Cook shut that door. Peter Kildemand just did a little bit of bother coming off of 2 there, but Sam Masters, he's out front, he's looking unbelievable. Quick look over his shoulder, no one challenging him. The Bandits have packed him for 2nd and 3rd. Could have been a different story had Craig Cook not slammed the door there on Cam Heeps as they came off of turn 4 for the first time. But this race has settled. Sam Masters out front, looking fantastic, untroubled, did the work from the tapes. The Bandits have packed into 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be a share of the spoils in this one. The action was in the opening lap of this one. Not for Sam Masters. Home and dry. Win for him. 2nd place for Peter Kildemand. 3rd place for Craig Cook. And Cam Heeps didn't reach the checkered flag. Yes, he does. He pooters round to take that checkered flag. So that secures victory, no doubt now. Sam Masters 4 from 4, looking fantastic. Comes round to take the applause of the home crowd. So there we go, Sam Masters, another win, 4 from 4 for him. Peter Kildemand 2nd, Craig Cook 3rd. Cameron Heeps, well, he tried on that opening lap, didn't he? But Craig Cook did not let him through. 3-3, 48-30 as we go into heat 14. The victory well and truly in the bag. Here we go to see if we can watch that first lap over again. Oh, no, wrong heat. We're going back to a previous heat. Yeah, it was a good game. That's Drew Kemp, this one. Why not? Let's watch it again. There's Mitch McDiarmid and Francis Gusts. They're going to be coming out for their 4th rides. 5 points for Mitch so far. 5 points for Francis so far. So they've both done a solid job. And they're going to come up against Drew Kemp and Jack Smith for the away side. So he's Drew's 5th ride. It's actually Jack's 5th ride as well. So a win and a 2nd and a last place for Francis Gusts this afternoon. And a win and 2 3rd places for Mitch McDiarmid for that man there, Drew Kemp. 2 2nds, 2 3rds. Always going to be tough to come to Oxford, especially when you've got the likes of Sam Masters on the form he's in. Jonas KNUDSEN's really come back to the table today for Oxford. Zach Cook, great guest. Yeah, been a tough afternoon for Berwick. They've given us some entertaining races. Especially Kemp, Kildemand and Cook. So here we go with heat number 14. AW Mobs Building Supplies, they sponsor 14. Which sees Francis Gusts, blue helmet colour, 5 points off the inside for Oxford. Gate 2, 6+1 for Drew Kemp, he'll be in the white helmet colour. Mitch McDiarmid, 5+1, red helmet colour off gate 3 for Oxford. And Jack Smith has failed to score this afternoon, try as he might. Yellow helmet colour off of gate number 4. So can Oxford get over that big 50-point mark in this one? Can Jack Smith get something from his afternoon? Engine failure and 3 last places for him. Drew Kemp has been in the mix, that's for sure. Away from the Oxford faithful. Here we go then. Heat 14. Tapes up and away we go. Drew Kemp over the top of Francis Gusts. Jack Smith got plenty of speed around the outside, but just runs into the back wall of Mitch McDiarmid. But Drew Kemp finds himself out from Francis Gusts, from Mitch McDiarmid, and Jack Smith at the back. The Oxford boys getting very close there, coming off of turn 4. Both going to be looking to set chase on Drew Kemp, and it looks like it's Francis Gusts that's going to take up that mantle. Moves himself into second place ahead of his teammate. Drew Kemp out front. Francis Gusts in second. Mitch McDiarmid looking to come up the inside of his teammate again there. Jack Smith's just tailed off. Spectator again in this one. Drew Kemp's looking fast. Francis Gusts isn't letting him get away though. We've got a lap to go here. Drew is in control of the heat, but one small mistake and he's got Francis Gusts working all he can to try and catch him up. But he's not going to make it happen. It's going to be a checkered flag for Drew Kemp in 14. Drew takes the win from Francis Gusts, from Mitch McDiarmid. I'm going to say McDiarmid or McDiarmid. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Mitch. It is a 3-3. Takes them over the 51-point mark for the Cheetahs. And it does give Drew Kemp a win. Got a paid win already this afternoon. That gives him a win. So Drew Kemp with the win. Francis Gusts second. Mitch McDiarmid third. Jack Smith fourth. 3-3 scoreline. 51-33. You can see it from the tapes. Drew Kemp makes the gate. Gets over the top here. Yeah, just leaves over the top Francis Gusts. And Jack Smith was out in that deep stuff, but he just ran and almost into the line that Mitch McDiarmid was on. He couldn't get himself up into that third place, and yeah, they pushed Drew Kemp, but Drew was in complete control. The boys just getting on top of each other there a tiny bit, both feeling like they can get themselves into that second place to chase. Now you sometimes do see that when it's a 3-3, both riders wanting to take that second place spot to try and push for the rider out front, but neither could really land a blow there. And it was a 3-3, and it leaves us 51-33 as we move into the last heat. So we've got one more to go. Let's head over into the pits where we can catch up with Laura.
Thank you very much, Lee. Down in pits just ahead of heat 15, we're going to have a wander down and see if we can maybe get a bit of an inkling as to who is going to be in that final heat of tonight. If you're a betting man, you wouldn't go against Sam Masters, would you? He has been absolutely flawless this evening, as usual, makes it look easy. Also just looks like he's not broke a sweat, which is quite the feat tonight. I think we saw Mitch in heat 15 a couple of weeks ago, which was really, really good to see, giving the young guys a chance. It does look like it could be Sam and possibly this guy here, Zach Cook, going out in heat 15. We praised Pete's choice of guests earlier on, and I think it's always good if the team is open to having a guest in heat 15. We see if we can maybe grab a quick chat with Zach. Don't want to distract you for too long. We were saying earlier, Pete always manages to pick a really good guest. It's almost like you're part of the team here now. Yeah, I've been here a few times already, but no, it's a place I enjoy and nice and close to home, so it's an easy one for me. Yeah, and, well, I don't know, it might be a bit of a disadvantage for us for when you're here later in the season, but is it good for you getting some guest bookings just to get a bit of track knowledge? Yeah, definitely. It's sort of good little gap fillers when I got nothing on, so it's always nice to stay on your bike, and yeah, it is helpful as well, riding on tracks more than what you probably normally would, and you can take that on to other meetings when you're here. So I'm here next week for Bellevue, so it's a nice little practice. As I said, it does look like you're possibly going out in hit 15, so I will let you get back to composing yourself. Thank you so much for talking to us. We're going to spin around and head down to the Berwick camp. We've got to say, in the Berwick camp tonight, it probably would have been really easy for their heads to drop, but it just hasn't happened. I think there's maybe been some frustrations as the riders have come off track, but I can confirm that they have pulled together as a team to try and keep their spirits high. Anyone surprised with that one? I'm not. Looks like we've got PK going out there in the yellow helmet colour. And then as we wander down here, I think I can see Craig Cook. Yep, there he is with the white helmet colour, ready to go out for Heat 15. As he's had a little bit of break with some illness, as I think we've spoke about a couple of times. So it's been really nice to see him come back, have a relatively consistent night and be given that chance in Heat 15. Looks like we're getting ready for some on-track action down here, so I'll hand you back up to Lee.
Yeah, awesome, Laura. Great to have you in the pits tonight. Good to hear from Zach there. Excellent guest this afternoon for us. I think the only rider really for us this afternoon that struggled is Cam. 3 paid 5. It's been a tricky afternoon for him. Everybody else has really come to the table this afternoon, come to the party. I don't think it's any surprise whatsoever to see Peter Kildemand and Craig Cook for the away side. And Sam Masters for the home side. That's no surprise whatsoever. And yeah, Zach Cook coming out. I often wonder, you know, should we be giving that to a home rider? It's obviously for Peter to get right or wrong, not me. But I often think with that scoreline, you could quite comfortably give that second spot to one of yours. But hey, what do I know? I'm just the commentator. Peter's made the call. He's gone with Zach Cook, who, to be fair, deserves it. 9 points for him. He's been excellent this afternoon. So riders making their way around. There is Zach Cook. There's Craig Cook. A couple of Cooks in this one. And I'll be honest, I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. I've actually written 9 points in my programme for Zach Cook because I didn't think he was going to be getting 15. So I'll have a word with Peter about that later on. It's going to mean I have to scribble for the first time in my programme this afternoon. I don't do mistakes in my programme, but I have this afternoon. But here we go, huge Heat 15. The meter's done and dusted, but that won't stop us having a great Heat 15 here with Craig Cook off the inside in white for the away side. Sam Masters, he's going to be in red off of gate number 2. Peter Kildemand yellow off of gate number 3. And Zach Cook blue off of the outside. So we've just, there we go, perfectly done. Cook, Masters, Kildemand and Cook. Great heat this one. Cab Direct, they sponsor Heat 15. There's me. The earphone back in place. Looking forward to this big Heat 15. 4 fantastic riders. They've all ridden really well this afternoon. Any of them could jump out the start and win this. We just want to see a good race. The Cheetahs fans watching, you're obviously going to want to see a home win. The Bandits fans watching, you're going to want to see an away win. Neutrals, just want to see good speedway. Here we go, big Heat 15. Sam Masters gets over the top of Craig Cook. Keep an eye on Zach Cook. Will he get the run around the outside? Whoa, Craig Cook lifts, and I didn't know whether that would affect Peter Kildemand. It didn't in the end, but Sam Masters, he's out front. Second place, Craig Cook. Peter Kildemand in third and Zach Cook at the back. But Sam is going to have to keep on his toes because Craig Cook looks really fast here, putting Sam Masters under the most pressure he's had this afternoon. They're both on that dirt line on the outside. Zach Cook up the inside of Kildemand. Can he make that stick? We've got 2 races in one here. Cook's chasing Masters down out front. Zach Cook moves up the inside of Peter Kildemand, who looks to come back round the outside. 1 lap to go, fantastic speedway in 15. Zach Cook comes back under the inside of Peter Kildemand. Sam Masters just looks like he stamped his authority on first, as has Zach Cook, who's going to make me scribble in my programme. Great Heat 15, Sam Masters with the win, Craig Cook in second, Zach Cook in third, and Peter Kildemand just lost out in that battle for third place and finds himself at the back. So, impeccable, 15 points for Sam Masters. Wonderful performance from him. Craig Cook, he did put him under all manner of pressure in that last heat. But Zach Cook getting up into third place. That's going to make me scribble my programme. Congratulations to Sam Masters. Amazing performance from him. And Zach Cook getting up into that third place. There we go, Sam Masters with the win, Craig Cook second, Zach Cook third, Peter Kildemand at the back. Fantastic race from them 4 guys, 4-2 to the home side. That gives the Cheetahs a 20-point win on the night, 55-35. And what a great way to end. 2 races in 1 there for that Heat 15. Sam Masters getting the better of Craig Cook. Zach Cook getting the better of Peter Kildemand. He gets the bumps, he deserves them. Great performance again from him. He's racking up the maximums at this level. Absolutely superb performance from Sam. There we have it, 55-35. Big win for the home team in the end. They deserve the victory. They worked hard. Berwick tried to keep in contact with them, but just got away at the end. So let's go top to bottom on the scores here. Craig Cook 10+1. Solid afternoon for him. He'll be really pleased with that. Sam Hagen, he could get a win in amongst those 4 last places as well. So 3 points for Sam Hagen from that number 2 position. The rider replacement rider, well, that yielded 4 points for Berwick instead of Drew Kemp. Instead of Daniel Hume, sorry. Drew Kemp, solid from the standing captain. 9+1, 10 points for Drew this afternoon. Peter Kildemand, apart from that blob in the last one, 12 points from his 5 rides, 6 rides in the end. And then that's just the damage done for Berwick there, with just 1 point between Dayle WOOD and Jack Smith. I think that's potentially what ended up doing the damage for the away side. And for the home side, well, Sam Masters threw the card, wasn't touched, under pressure in that last one, but faultless 15 points. 6 paid 9 for Jonas KNUDSEN back in the team from that number 2 berth. Excellent return for him. Zach Cook, solid as a guest can be, 10 points. He'll be really pleased with that, as will Peter Schroeck be. Did an excellent job guesting for Jordan Jenkins. Mitch McDIARMID, points in every ride. 6 paid 8 for him from that number 4 spot. Cam Heeps, the only rider really that's going to be disappointed with this afternoon. Worked hard, but just couldn't get the points to back up the effort. He got paid 5 this afternoon, Cam Heeps. Francis Gusts, really solid down there. There's the difference between the 2 sides. 7 points for Francis Gusts. 8 paid 10 for Luke Killeen. So it was 15 versus 1 in the battle of the reserves. Ultimately, in the end, that's pretty much the difference between the 2 sides, with a 20-point advantage. So thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it. From myself, Rob and Paul and Eloise on cameras tonight, Laura in the pits, Andy doing the business up here, producing and directing, and for myself, Lee Kilby on comms. Thank you very much for supporting us and joining us. Well done to the Cheetahs. Commiserations to the Bandits. Keep your eyes peeled for our stream, BSN streams, TNT, Speedway, all over the place. Make sure you're watching and supporting your sides. Have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.